ガラスの迷路ひび割れた公園まだ消えないまま藤た記憶誰かの夢にすり替わる名前さえ今奪われてく聞こえるか胸の奥できしむ鎖の叫び逃げないで選ぶんだ自分だけの芯を一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を上書きしてくささやくそきに咲きながら覚めないなら夢を燃やせ一つ操られたスターに君の本と響かせてかけ違えたストーリー今塗り替えてゆけ黒いタイピン運命にコードが刺さる笑うシステム感情を食らう震えた指でログアウト先を探してるでも君の手が確かにここにある忘れるな偽物でも選ぶ痛みはリアル奪えない願いだけが最後のパスワード一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を上書きしてくささやくそきに咲きながら覚めないなら夢を燃やせ一つ操られた明日に君の本と響かせてかけ違えたストーリー今塗り替えていけ必殺君の声で暗いスクリプトを壊して一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を更新してく挟むく影抱きしめながら傷ついても夢を離すな一つ操られた未来一緒に飛び越えて交差してくストーリー今始まりに帰ろう
Look at all
John
you beautiful
Mandler
bastards in the
celebrates
chat,
18
man.
months of membership. Damn, it's been 18 months.
18 months,
Feels
wow.
like it's been a hot minute since I've caught a live stream.
What's wrong with you?
Crazy to think how much has happened the past year.
John Ambler, 18 months. That's insane. Shout out to John Ambler for 18 months of legendary support. Guys, welcome to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right, we are live, boys. We are live, we are live, we are live. We're gonna dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, boys, you gotta bring it in. Listen. Listen very closely. It's Wednesday, boys. It's Wednesday. That means with Wednesdays comes a lot of humping. There is a lot of humping. Han says, chat, talking about pizza when I'm cutting. Hey, yo. Are we talking like cutting pizza or are we talking like emo cutting? What do we do? Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Boys, we got a lot we got to talk about. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. Everybody's coming here to hug it out, We have to hug it out, boys. All right, get in here. Stop denying it. All right, stop denying it. Get in here. Let's hug it out. Get nice and close. Get awkwardly close. Get so close you might even be called. Get in here. Get in here and listen very closely. Stop saying don't touch me. We're not going to listen. Guys, if you're watching over on YouTube, like the stream. Let's go. Like the stream, boys. Do it. Hey, somebody grab Matthew Watson right now. Somebody grab Matthew Watson right now. Get him. Grab him right now. He's trying to deny the hug. Grab him. Drag him by the
Update
cankles.
404 celebrates 8 months
Drag
of membership. All my emojis are gone on the YouTube app. WTH, bro.
What the fuck? Is YouTube felting you? That's not good. That's not good. They're there for me. I don't know what's going on there. Guys, grab Matthew Watson. Good job. I see you guys grab him. Great job. Beautiful. Grab him by the cankles. Drag him to the center of the circle. And listen, if you're watching over on Rumble, like the stream. Like it. And if you're watching anywhere else right now, well, I mean, that's impossible literally in your game.
You are gay!
It's the truth. I don't make up the rules. I don't make up the rules. Yeah, something's going on with YouTube, by the way, guys. So don't freak out, okay? Hopefully we could do actually have a stream today. Don't freak out. But something's going on with YouTube where it's like weirdly lagging out every now and then. It's not me this time. If it was me, I would see myself disconnected, but it's not. Over on YouTube, though, every now and then it's like lagging out and emojis are not showing for some people. And it's a little weird. So, yeah, YouTube's acting funny. YouTube's acting funny. Guys, listen. We got a lot we got to talk about today. All right. We got to talk about today. But before we do that, can I get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking? What are we checking today? Well, we're checking a lot of stuff today, boys. Guys, oh my God, the God of War, the God of War stuff is it's more interesting than I ever thought it could possibly be. I'm not even lying to you. Like, you guys know when I was watching the State of Play, I predicted that.
Did you hear anything about the X-Men in Wolverine?
I did. We're going to talk about that. Apparently, there is no X-Men in Wolverine. There's no X-Men in Wolverine. It doesn't even exist in the universe Wolverine takes place in. And apparently, it doesn't even take place in the same universe as Spider-Man. There's no connection there either. So we just got a whole bunch of magical motherfuckers running around. We got a whole bunch of magical motherfuckers running around with no affiliation to the X-Men. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. We're going to talk about that today. It's one of the things we're talking about today. Guys, listen, we got a lot we got to go over. What else we checking, man? Uh-oh. Bro, with the Carlos shit.
Take down the Chewbacca threat. The president is counting on us.
You know what, Benjamin? I agree. Benjamin, I agree. Listen, Chewbacca, that motherfucker spoke early at the beginning of the stream because I forgot to pause the TTS, so he felted me. We got to get him back. We got to get him back, Benjamin. We need to get revenge on Chewbacca right now. All right, so get the crew together. We're going to make it happen, sir. But anyway, no, seriously, we got a lot we got to talk about today, boys. Sony is so brain dead check. I know. Scissors check. Yep. I summoned Pot Agreed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck. What are you playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now? God of HOA Karen? Holy shit. By the way, the memes, oh my God. Okay, so like, if there's one thing that came out of this situation, that always comes out of this situation, it's the memes, boys. Can we talk about how amazing the memes are?
I was ready yesterday to tell you why you are wrong about Faye, but then I saw the director and the writer. I was so excited I didn't even notice that stupid cube. Anyway, it's 3 a.m. here. I might fall asleep.
Yo, explosive. Explosive with the 23.99. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, even if you tell me I was wrong, I'd be down to converse. But I don't even care about the director and the writer, even though the director is a little sus. I don't even care about that personally. But the cube, brother, the cube is retarded. The cube, you know, it's funny. I actually looked. So while I was editing last night, I don't want to harp on this right now because it's gonna be part of the topic. But anyway, really fast. Oh my God, Chewy!
Dave, Monday is the greatest day of week. Happy third Monday.
It is not Monday. Mondays don't exist, okay? Do you understand? Do you understand that Mondays don't exist? They don't exist. Guys, listen. Really quick to answer Explosive. So I actually last night while I was editing videos, I rewatched the God of War Laufey trailer. Because I was like, let me just see if there's anything that, you know, maybe I missed. Any kind of details that maybe I missed, you know what I'm saying? To kind of like tie it all together in my head, you know? I just Son of a bitch! Whatever he says is a lie.
パーフェクトデートゥーセイ how much USCMPUSS 注意 You also have lunch with them.
Lies.
メインコアスパイナパルピートさ
Whatever he just said is a lie. Whatever D-Draconic just said is a lie. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate that. So I rewatched it. You know, I checked out the trailer just to kind of try to get my mind, you know, wrapped around it. And after I rewatched the trailer, I realized that I am exactly in the same place that I was before. Like I tried to give it another chance, just you know, because it's different. Sometimes something is different when you watch it off stream. You know, you just watch it again. You know, just check it out again. I am literally in the exact same position I was in before. If anything, I'm probably even more insulted because I had to rewatch the fucking talking sword and the cube, because for some reason with female protagonists led video games, it could never be serious. There also has
Zesty man.
Zesty
yeah, let's
man.
go. Give me an S, give
What?
me an H,
What?
give me an E, and a and or what does that mean? Shears, form of shears.
Brother. That was gay as fuck. That was real zesty fester. That was some zesty fester shit. Straight up. Super fucking zesty fester. Anyway, Benji, thank you for the 5. But no, listen. So, in all seriousness, so I rewatched it again just to kind of like, bro, it's like for some reason every time lately in modern gaming, if there's a female protagonist, whether people care about them or not, it seems impossible to have the female protagonist without some fucking stupid-ass sidekick that is retarded with cringe millennial dialogue. It's almost as if they have to get it out some way, somehow. And the more you try to restrict these writers, the more they're going to try to figure out a way to make a character that can get all their terrible writing out in one shot. That's how it feels. It's like, and you know, it's funny because the comparisons to Forspoken were becoming more and more apparent the longer the trailer went on. You know, it just became more and more apparent. It's like, why the fuck do we have to have these retarded fucking sidekicks? They're so annoying. Anyway, so I watched it again, and I pretty much stand by everything I said before where, you know, the combat looked cool. I really thought the combat looked cool, personally. Kind of like Heavenly Swordish a little bit, you know. Combat looked fine. But again, I don't go into a God of War video game expecting the combat to be bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember the combat. I don't go into those kind of games expecting the combat to be bad. Just like I didn't go into Wolverine expecting the combat to be bad. I go into those games checking everything else out because that's where you're gonna find the cracks in the foundation. Does that make sense? Like you're gonna find the cracks in the foundation in other aspects of those kind of games. So that's why I tend to hyper focus on those things more, because I already expect the combat to be good. If the combat ends up somehow being bad, brother, how? Why? What the fuck is wrong with you? How could you fuck that up? You know? So anyway, all right, guys, that's besides the point. ESG scores are at their maximum. We're fully funded, man. Like the stream. Let's go. Let's go. Guys, real quick, before we get into the Bigot Army roll call and call out everybody in the chat right now, we need to go over the battle that's happening today. Let's do it quickly. I don't want pineapple pizza, Genetic Spore. I don't want pineapple pizza, Genetic Spore. Stop it. Stop it. Guys, today we got an interesting battle lined up. All right, the tournament's moving along pretty nicely. Lara Croft moved on to the next round. She defeated Princess Zelda yesterday, which is interesting. And today we got none other than Jill Valentine versus my, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. An interesting combination. Somebody in the chat said banana pizza when, then. No, banana, what is wrong with you guys? Pineapple pizza, banana pizza. Are you guys so fucking bored that you got to add all this weird shit? You can't just have good old pizza? You can't just have good old pizza? What's wrong with you? Surprisingly, Jill Valentine is currently winning in the poll, which is shocking. It's not by much. Obviously, it's a 50-50 split, but she's barely ahead, so they have her name showing. But Jill Valentine is actually winning in the poll, so this is going to be an interesting one today. We'll see how the Super Chats work out. But guys, if you want to vote for one of the characters for today's battle, moving on to the next round, please listen. You have to put the name first in the Super Chat with a hashtag in front of the name so that it can count towards the particular battle that we're having. Otherwise, it will not count. If you Super Chat, put the name in the beginning with the hashtag. Do we understand? Of course we do. Of course we do. All right, guys, let's go over the Bigot Army roll call. Let's see who's hanging out with us in the chat, man. Who's hanging out with us in the chat? We got, let's see, let me scroll up. Chaotic Holy is in the chat. What's going on, brother? How are you doing? We got, how do you say this? Ma Wulong?
Carlos, you
Wulong?
hunk.
Am I fucking that up?
Mushy peas and mayonnaise pizza topping is my favorite.
Ew.
You H moo ha 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 ha.
Sorry. Fuck you, man, for making me laugh at that shit again. Why did it go moo? Why did it do that? Oh, man. God damn it. That shit always gets me, man. Fuck. That's my kryptonite. I gotta come up with a way to fight that. I gotta come up with a name to fight that. All right. Project Redfoot says, hashtag the name at the beginning. I am going to bed. Good night, Project Redfoot. Appreciate you hanging out, bro. Hey, Robert. What's going on, Robert? Says, hello, everyone. How you doing, brother? Shout out to you. All right, guys, listen. Let's do the Big Arm roll call, man. Who else is in here? Who else is in here? We got Ma Wulong. We got Dana Ryer. We got Oliver Adam in the chat. Mr. Melancholy. What's going on, dude? We got Ryuga Semvoid. How you doing, man? We got the voice in the water. D Draconic is in the chat. Dragon is in the chat as well. Dragatello is in the chat. OG Gamer says, greeting gamers. What's going on, OG Gamer? How are you doing? We got Moogle that's in the chat as well. We got Yamato85. We got Korean Cowboy. We got Matthew motherfucking Watson. How you doing, man? We got the voice in the water. We got Chaotic Holy. We got Hanny is in the chat. Explosive is in the chat as well. We got, let me see, Dragons in the chat. Carl Singh is in the chat. Satsuna Shadow is in the chat as well. How you doing, Satsuna? We got Genetic Spore V2 in the chat as well. We got Phil Espa in the chat. We got Frozen Dark in the chat. We got Lucky Boy in the chat as well. What's going on, man? We got the Fourth Wall Guy. We got Monkey Man 04. We got Silver Austin Luna. We got, let me scroll down. We got Oliver Adams in the chat. We got Cyborg 647 in the chat as well. Who else is here? Let me scroll down. We got Mr. Melancholy. We got A Kickin' Dadits is in the chat as well. Inferno Hell Knight is in the chat. We got Vigilante Up is in the chat as well. Dade 404 is in the chat. Melody Johnson is in the chat as well. Who else is here? Let me scroll down. Panthro, what's this about AI and Tomb Raider? Well, you're going to find out, my good man. You're going to find out. We got Sith Lord Kratos in the chat as well. All right, 4 more. Then we got to get on with the show.
How does feet pizza when?
Ew, bro. Come on. Hey, somebody take this man out. Somebody cancel this man.
Hashtag my.
That was nasty as
This
fuck.
is your best friend.
Whatever he says is a lie.
Because you love to easily.
Whatever D Draconic just said is a lie. I just want to make sure you guys understand that. Whatever he said is a lie. I don't even got to understand it to know it's a lie. Straight up. D Draconic, thank you for the 5. Silver Brother Lycan, thank you for the 5. Sakirio Berry says, hey, Hypno, it's been a while. Where the fuck you been? No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to you. What's up, Sakirio Berry? How you doing? All right, 4 more people. Come on, let's go. We got to hurry up. 4 more people. Who do we got? Let's check Rumble. Rumble, we got Griffin of Might over on Rumble. T-Jab Steve over on Rumble. Torinol over on Rumble as well. What's going on, man? We got Crash Collins over on Rumble. We got Mervoth over on Rumble. We got Viovis over on Rumble. We got Fluffy motherfucking Murder Machine over on Rumble. What's going on, dude? We got Light Ferret over on Rumble, the legend. We got Gray Soul over on Rumble. And last but not least, we got Ardith Bay
At
over on
Limitless
Rumble.
celebrates 1
And
month of
Toradol
membership
over on
to
Rumble.
Taru.
This episode of Hypnocast is brought to you by the following sponsor.
Whatever he's about to
Get
say
a free
is bullshit.
Hypno Body Kilo with the purchase of Hypno Koshi.
Whatever that man just said, Limitless Andre, for 1 month, is absolute bullshit. See, the thing is, they only use the Japanese voices when they want to lie. Okay? That's the only time they use the Japanese voices. I don't even have to know what it says for me to know it's bullshit. Okay? Okay, Limitless Andre, you understand, buddy? You understand?
ヒプノ&ゼステ
Yep, whatever. Yep.
シッティングインザツリ
Yep,
ー
listen. Stop lying.
KISSING
KISSING.
ファーストカムズラブ全カムズマリエッジ
You're lying.
全カムズ A Baby in A ゴールデンキャリッジ
Brother. Oh my God, bro. Since when did we get so many Asians? Since when has there been so many Asians in this chat? I don't remember this many Asians. What's next? Wukong? What's next? Wukong's gonna show up. He's gonna be like, I want my pork fighter. No, stop it. Stop it. All right. Who else is here? Toradol over on Rumble. Shout out to you, my man. And we got Dempsey's in the chat. And who else is here? Diet Spam is in the chat over on Rumble as well. All right, boys, listen, I called out as many people as I possibly could. It's Wednesday. It's a hump day. It's a glorious day, a beautiful evening. Let's sacrifice your fellow Bigot Army member, and let's see who's going to get the final call-out money shot today. Who is it going to be? Let's find out. Hypno, you're worldwide, my guy. I am not. I am not worldwide at all, and I don't want to be. Gray Soul says, toasty yogurt shot to my exit, only deflected by my beautiful waifu Yoriichi Shion. Una reverse blocked, down by 7. Interesting.
Carlos, my poor
Oh
farm
my God.
was promised to me 3,000 years ago. Don't deny me my destiny.
You just had to bring out Wukong? You just had to bring out Wukong. That's it? You just had to do that? Now we got all the Asians here. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, crazy bastard. Anyway, we got to go to Fractal Mage. Wait, how many? 7? Fractal Scampus, Benji,
ヒプノ
beautiful.
is the greatest
Fucking Asians.
イズス
You
チ
know
ーム
what?
are the best out there
You know what? That's it. That's it. Oh, and Chewbacca. And Chewbacca. Yeah, and Chewbacca, of course. Of course.
Hashtag my.
Oh, here we go.
Sniff, sniff, smells like Asian sperm.
And fucking Biden having a stroke. You know what? That's it. That's it. Everybody who used the Asian voice to felt me in Super Chats, you're all getting the money shot. Fuck you guys. Every single one of you are getting. Forget the chats. But I'm targeting you myself. Every single one of you. Fuck you, Chewie. Fuck you, Chewie.
What the?
Every single one of you bastards. Every single one of you got it. You sons of bitches. Okay?
With a
You
little
too,
blue
Chewie.
pill, I can follow the
What
path
the
of
fuck?
soul loveliness and arise a sniff, a sniff. Why do I smell Kata's feet and
Why you
sniff, sniff? Is that a Teresa's plug?
Why are you smelling Kata's feet? That is disgusting. Why are you smelling Atreus's butt plug? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Biden, go home. Go home. Trey, thank you for the 10. Biden, go home. Seriously, go to bed. It's crazy, man. Listen, guys, we got a lot we got to talk about today. In all seriousness, okay? I know we're having a good time today. We always do. Guys, we're going to be talking about God of War Laufey. We're going to be looking at all the meltdowns. We're going to be looking at all the memes. We're going to be looking at all the funnies today. All right, there's a lot to go over with God of War Laufey. I'm actually thinking about starting the stream with that because there's so much to go over. I want to make sure I cover all of it. We're also going to be talking about Wolverine. So apparently some more information has come out about Wolverine that I think a lot of you guys should probably know about if you're considering buying the game. Number one, it is not going to be an open world game. You know, I remember when the game initially got leaked Insomniac, that build they got leaked online that everybody was seeing videos of. It made it seem like it was going to be an open world game similar to Spider-Man. That's not the case at all. They have confirmed, the developers have confirmed that it's going to be a linear experience. It is not going to be open world whatsoever. It's going to be a linear Wolverine experience, which again, not necessarily a bad thing. I just feel like people should know about that because I think people are expecting Insomniac to deliver an open world kind of experience similar to Spider-Man. Alright, he's lying. He's lying.
I got the money shot and now I'm pregnant.
He's lying. What the f... That's... Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it because YouTube's AI going to be like, you said what now? You said what? You said what? Digiconic and Benjamin and whoever else is using the fucking... I lost count. Fuck you guys. All right? But anyway, so, I think it's interesting. We should definitely talk about that.
Magical Girl Hypno-chan must save the gamers from the journalist from sucking their energy.
We are not
Use the
watching an
brooch
anime.
the go forgive you and save US.
I feel as if today's Hypnocast has been like, we're watching it in subs. I gotta really, what the fuck are we doing? Why are there so many Asians in today's chat? Did you guys all get together and start this? God, I can't even get through the fucking intros. He's pregnant. How did he get pregnant? Oh, the money shot. Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's not mine. All right, it's not mine. We're going to Maury, and it's not going to be mine, okay? It is what it is. Guys, so we're going to talk about Wolverine because they abandoned the open world, apparently. And on top of that, too...
Clicking and sniff.
Oh, my
the
God,
is evidence
brother.
that Hypno does, in fact, pineapple on pizza.
Biden.
The stream is brought to you by Hypno Brand Coffee.
And Trump. Wow.
Huge discount with code WORDOranges.
Oh, of course. Yeah, oranges. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. That's actually a dual joke. That's a dual joke. I get the quartering thing, and I also get the fact that he's the orange man, Trump's. Yeah, I get it. I see it. I see it, you son of a bitch. I see it. Thank you for the 20. Fucking people, man. Gee, oh my God. Chewbacca. Why has nobody cut this fucking Chewie's hair off? Why has he not been shaven yet? Is he done? No, he's not done. Of course not. He's got to let it out. He's taking a massive dump. Of course. Anyway, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that, Adair Soto. We also got to talk about the fact that Wolverine, apparently, in the world that this is like a linear story, right? So obviously it's going to be narrative driven. LOL, is that a super chat? Yes, I have an AI TTS system that allows you to read out your super chats in multiple different voices, like over 50 plus voices and 50 plus sound effects. If you're curious how to use it, look at the TTS guide that's pinned. Guys, this narrative experience Wolverine is apparently not going to have the X-Men in the game. The X-Men, to my knowledge, don't even exist in this game. That's interesting. I find that to be extremely interesting. They, like, word for word, they said that the X-Men don't exist in this game. And not only that, there's going to be no tie to anything related to Spider-Man whatsoever. So there's going to be no, they're not, everybody thought that the worlds were going to be tied. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was the initial thing that they had planned. Didn't they plan to have Spider-Man and Wolverine tied? I'm almost positive I reported on that like 6 months ago.
I started to a trend.
Fucking Asians.
Also, Hypno loves empanadas and Fridays.
Okay, he's not lying there. I do like empanadas and I do like Fridays, okay? I do like that, okay? All right, respectfully.
I told you that you each in your FRE the number 7 cutest VTuber. Hypnotic.
That's a lie. I'm number 6 now. I'm number 6. Guys, so yeah, apparently...
Barto, which bus hit Jean Grey's face? It's so bad.
Sky felt it himself. He didn't read the rules. Thank you for the 2, Sky. I appreciate it. So again, no X-Men and no open world and no tie to Spider-Man Insomniac games. So all of this seems like it's kind of out of left field because I'm almost fucking positive that like 6 months to a year ago, they were telling us that they were going to tie Wolverine to Spider-Man, at least like in the same world. But the fact that it's not in the same world now and it's like not even open, I don't know, dude. I'm confused about this game. So we're going to go over the interview and see what's going on there because it's a little bit weird. We also got to talk about Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, you know, I think the first one looks pretty decent. The one, like, I think it's called Legacy of Atlantis. You know, I looked at the gameplay. Well, you know, gameplay. What do we see? Like 2 minutes of gameplay. But anyway, it looked all right for the most part. But there's one thing that's very interesting about this game is that Tomb Raider actually already on Steam has an open AI disclosure where they are now changing the wording of Tomb Raider. They're now changing the wording of the AI usage in Tomb Raider, where it's going from, you know, because they always say that they replace all the AI assets, right? That they only use it for what do you call it? For like pre-production or whatever. What?
I was offered page of building Egyptian tombs. Turned out to be a pyramid scheme.
Oh, you're so funny! You're so funny. You're so funny. Turned out to be a pyramid scheme. Thank you for the 5. Listen, so apparently the AI disclosure would always read something along the lines of like the AI, you know, anything that they made with AI was replaced by a human, right? Like they always kind of, you know, do that because everybody's like overly sensitive about AI and they lose their mind over it, whatever. Anyway, so apparently now they changed the wording to, well, whatever was made with the AI has now either been replaced by a human or get this, ready? Refined by a human. So now you see how they're slowly but surely trying to like get it in there. They're trying to get the people who are like super crazy anti-AI, like the journos. They're trying to get them to slowly
This
accept
episode of Hypnocast is brought to you by Hypno Brand Hypno Coffee.
Bro, the new people who are watching the stream are gonna think that I have an actual coffee company, and this is the worst time to make that fucking joke, boys. It's the worst time ever to make that joke. God damn it. I don't have a coffee company. For fuck's sakes. Anyway. So we got to talk about that because that's also very interesting. And I think that I think that their changing of the language is definitely something that we got to talk about. You know, because you guys know, for me, like, I mean, I utilize it. I don't give a fuck. But like, at the end of the day, I do find it interesting the way that they try to slowly but surely get people to, you know, certain people anyway, to like kind of accept the terminology. Because now they're saying, oh, it's been refined by a human. So now it's like AI made, but at least a human touched it. And you know what they mean by that, right? When they say refined by a human, they mean that it came across a human's eyes and they were like, yep, looks good, put it in. That's what they mean. Anyway, guys, so we got plenty to talk about today. It's going to be a busy stream. Also, while I have most of you here, please listen up.
At Vice Admiral Deku of Mars 5372
oh, shit. 5 months,
celebrates
bro. Thank
5 months of membership.
What's going on?
Hashtag my.
Okay. Oh, my God, bro. Why do you always sound like you're taking the biggest shit?
Did you just touch my freshly made gunpla?
Dagath. First off, it wouldn't be me touching your gunpla. It would be Atreus, okay? Because that motherfucker's addicted to that shit. All right? Respectfully, I have like three. I have 3 in my collection. Atreus has like 20. He just started yesterday. So anyway, but thank you. Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Guys, while I have most of you here, just a reminder. All right, I want to remind everybody, this week is going to be insane in terms of like start times, end times, and all that stuff. Like we did a stream for the State of Play at, I think 4:30, like completely random ass time. Obviously, we still have the Xbox showcase. We got the Summer Games Fest, and I'm on the road. Like I'm traveling a lot right now. So tomorrow's Hypnocast, if I do one, is probably going to be early, right? So it's most likely going to be around 5. So it's going to have to replace Griffcast again. So I don't want to see a bunch of people saying like, oh, I didn't know about it. I didn't know that most of you are here right now. There's over 400 of you watching. So Hypnocast will probably be like 3 to 4 hours early tomorrow. So just be on the lookout because YouTube will not notify you because they don't like when you change things. All right, they don't like when you change things. So it most likely is going to be like around 5. SNH will most likely be the same time. Actually, I could pretty much guarantee it's going to be the same time. So Saturday is going to be fine, but Hypnocast is going to be like all over the place. All right, so just please be on the lookout. I would appreciate it. All right, listen up, man. Membership train that we're getting into pre-stream legends, that we're getting into the content. We got a lot of memes, boys. The God of War Laufey memes are fucking hilarious. We got to go over it.
Hセットドゥドゥ。あふせせせせ。
You know, fuck it. This is now a death train. Everybody that gets on a train is going to die. Drag Benchton on a train. Drag everybody on the train. Drag everybody on the membership train that use the fucking Asian voice. And they're never getting off the train. Get them on right now. Let's go. Use the emojis.
All aboard.
Light this shit up.
The membership.
Light it up. Light it up. Son of a bitch. Get Tanya in here too. Get Tanya in here too.
Hypnocast alive, every little badge like a battle cry. I see the counter climbing. Tick, tick, tick. Every ping's a promise we keep. From the lurkers hiding in the shadows to the ones who never sleep. Ride the membership train.
Tanya Raven with the membership. Okay, she's saved. She's saved. Membership over on YouTube. Thank you, Tanya Raven. I appreciate that. DJ Conic with a membership over on Rumble. Thank you, DJ Conic.
We're breaking the chain. Turn the screen to a burning campaign. From the first to the last. Remember the name. We are Hypnocast. Membership train.
Throw him over the train. Throw him over the fucking. Throw him over the train. Throw him over the train. Wow, all the memberships came shortly after the membership train ended. Dexter Bell with the membership. Thank you, Bejethan with the membership. Thank you, Gaming Mason with the membership, and Cookie Kaiju with the membership as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Somebody in the chat said, Katakoli says, I love this channel. A bunch of insanity and chaos.
I really don't
nightly.
get
It
why
is crazy.
people are upset that the new GAO game does
crazy.
not have Kratos as the main character. I would just wait for more information on the story and gameplay.
I mean, I could tell you, but I spent an entire stream yesterday literally talking about it. It's pretty obvious why people are not. It's pretty obvious why people are upset about it. I would say it's pretty obvious. Maybe it's not obvious for everyone.
Hypno brand Asian Boys is what makes the stream a success.
What the
God
fuck?
of War Laundry will flop financially, but sell those or Tremu copies.
What in the scam caller was that? Holy shit. Holy shit. Thank you. I appreciate that, Sky. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. But we'll definitely talk about it because we gotta go over it. All right, listen, let's go over the pre-stream legends really quick, and then we're getting into the content. We're gonna be talking about God of War, so Joey, don't worry about it. We'll get to that pretty quickly. Frozen Dark hit us with a membership right at the beginning of the stream. I appreciate that. King Demon Wing dropped 5 memberships.
More memberships! More memberships! More memberships!
Shout out to King Demon Wing, and considering that's the first one of the stream, you already know what that means. King Demon Wing. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Frozen Dark also dropped another membership. I appreciate that. And then Tanya Raven dropped a $20 banger at the beginning before we went live, so it didn't get read. And it says, In the DSP voice, I can't do a DSP voice. The discourse involving Faye is ridiculous. People should be more like me. I have no brain tissue left to give an intellectual opinion. And then she says for Sonya, it puts the lotion on. And then Phil, get back in your hole. That's crazy, bro. I would have loved to hear that in the DSP voice. Thank you, Tanya Raven, for the $20 banger. I appreciate that. I'm sorry the TTS couldn't read it. But just future reference, if you want the TTS to read a super chat, you have to wait until I'm officially live, and then it will read it. Thank you, Tanya. And then Lockwire with the 5 as Chewbacca, of course. And then John Ambler with the 18 months of legendary status. Thank you, my man. And thank you, Lockwire. Appreciate that. Dade 404 for 8 months. I appreciate that, my man. Dragon with the 2. Did you hear anything about the X-Men? I'm going to talk about that.
needs an enema. I should know because I have one every day. Isn't that right, Chewie?
Holy shit.
What kind of lore was that? What kind of you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. We're just gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Tanya, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that. Dragon, thank you for the 2. Benjamin with the 5. Thank you, my good man. Explosive with the $23.99. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Frozen Dark with the 5. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Draconic with another 5. I appreciate that as well. Benjamin with another 5. Thank you, sir. And then Benjamin with another 5, hitting me with the zesty. Silver Bullet like it with the 5. Thank you. Kata's feet is nasty. I don't want to hear that ever again. Draconic with another 5. Thank you, sir. Limitless Andre lying with the Asian voice, of course. Thank you for the 1 month. And then Benjamin with another 5, and then another 5. And then Lockwire with another 5. Thank you, guys. And then Biotee Wolf, of course. Sniff, sniff, smells like Asian spirit. Of course, I'm not surprised. Thank you, Biotee Wolf, for the 5. Adair Soto with the 5. Thank you, sir. Trey Burkhalter, trolling as Biden, as always, with the 10. I appreciate that. Benjamin with another 5. Jeez. And then Yamato with another 5. Thank you, guys. And then Gaming Mason became a member all on his own. Thank you, Gaming Mason. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. Trey Burkhalter with a $20 banger right off the bat. I appreciate that, my man, even though it's Biden. So we all know how that goes. Adair Soto with the 5. Thank you, sir. Digiconic with the 5. I appreciate that. Chaotic Holy with the 10. Lying as, 02. I appreciate it. Sky with the 2, felting himself. And then Monkey Man with the 5. I appreciate it. Dark City with the $19.99. As Trump lying about Hypno brand coffee. It's the worst time to lie about that, I'm telling you. Vice Admiral Deco Mars, 5 months. I appreciate it. Benjamin with a 5 as 02. Tiny Raven with another 5 as Chewbacca. And then she gives some membership as well. Adair Soto with a 5 as Chewbacca, as always. And then Dexter Bell, Benjamin, Gaming Mason, and Cookie Kaiju all dropped memberships during the membership train. I appreciate that. Then we got Joey with the 10. Thank you so much, Joey. Appreciate that, my man. And then we got Sky with the 5. And then we got Tanya Raven with another 5. And then we got Pizza Cat, Dartanave, Razorburn, and a bunch of people dropping jewels. I have no idea what the fuck the jewels do. I'm sorry. I just don't. But I appreciate it regardless. I don't ever see the money from it, but I appreciate what it looks like. I'll say that. I don't know what it does, but anyway, it's fine.
DSP has inconvenience from being tagged.
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Benj, thank you for the 5. Are we cursed now? Yes. I'm pretty sure Benjamin just summoned Sonichu. Like, I'm almost positive. So we're fucked, boys. We are absolutely fucked. Let's go over to Rumble. Rumble, you gonna save the day? Rumble, what do we got, man? Torinol with a 2. Hypno, if the Wookiee causes you too much trouble, I could send some fur boot patterns. Much fashion, high class. Do it! See? Torinol? Torinol, you see this?
I agree, Chewie. You need more enemas. I'll be right back.
What the fuck is with the enemas? Torinol, do you have an anti-DSP one too? Let me know. Let me know. I appreciate that, man. Draconic with a 5 for hashtag my. It's not a lie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Draconic then gifted a membership over on Rumble. Thank you, sir. And then Crash Colin with a 5 says hashtag Jill Valentine. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Torinol with a 2. Bulk of the AI hate. Is it from China's sensitivity with non-China AI use? They want to lead the industry, not chase it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And I think, are we caught up? Yo, we are caught up. Let's go. Let's go. All right, boys. We are fully caught up. One last reminder, and we're about to get into the content. We have a battle going on today. If you want your Super Chat to count towards the battle, whether you do or you don't, if you do, please let me know by putting hashtag one of these girls' names at the beginning of your Super Chat so that the mods can count it to the nonsense that's going on. Okay? Let me know, please, for the love of God. Thank you, guys. T-Jab says, we have already hit Tier 1, and we are 155 away from Tier 2. Thank you, sir. And currently, the standings for the battle are Jill is at $5 and Mai is at $55. Damn, Resident Evil. Damn, Resident Evil. You guys are getting killed out there. Holy shit. All right, well, I mean, the night's young. The night's young, so it's perfectly fine, boys. Okay, guys, are we ready to do this, man? Are we ready to do this? Are we ready to like start this fucking rabbit hole of nonsense? Are we ready? We're gonna talk about God of War Laufey. We're just gonna go right into it. I'm gonna pause the TTS for this because I don't want it to get interrupted. Okay. After the segment, all the super chats that come in will be read by the TTS. So just give it a second, obviously. But let's talk about God of War Laufey. All right, guys. We're going to talk about God of War Laufey, all right? Because the amount of nonsense has been happening on social media has been insane. It's been insane. But before we do any of that, before we talk about it in any serious manner, we have to appreciate the internet for what it is, and we have to laugh at the memes that this entire situation has spawned. Because while I'm sifting through the nonsense of Twitter, and we all know Twitter has a lot of nonsense, we do find some gold every now and then, and I wanted to share that gold with you today in this segment. So let's go over some of the memes first, and then we're going to get into the actual serious conversation. And if you guys are just a little bit sensitive, then you may not want to watch these memes because, well, they're a little upsetting. You may want to fast forward if you're watching the playback on Hypnotic Gaming Live. But if you're watching the stream, well, then I don't really know what to tell you. It is what it is. All right, first one. Dr. Clown says, breaking. What are the new companion mechanics in God of War Laufey has been revealed. This guy's been cooking with his AI videos, man. This is what AI was made for.
Place your soiled garments within me.
Bro, you know what's crazy? If it wasn't so insulting to the women, right? If it wasn't so insulting, they would actually put something cringe like this in the game because God knows they damn near are close to that anyway. All right, so that's the first one. Let's go over this one. Grimfell says, after a successful reception to God of War Laufey, I'm happy to announce God of War Kratos' mama. This one explores the origin and mythology of Kratos' upbringing and what it means to be a woman who has been dealt hardships. I want to thank my team of panelists and journalists for making this game possible. Q4 October release only on PlayStation. You got to love the only on PlayStation part. Let's check this out. Here we go. This is going to be funny.
I'm just trying to find my son. I'm Kratos' mama.
Yo, the AI is so funny because there's literally two of them. Look at this. One up here, and then two. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. The fact that the sword is pink just makes it even that much better. I don't know why. It's just funny to me.
This is too much hard work, but I'm a strong, independent woman. I can do this. Nah, fuck it. Ya bastard! Oh, give me a minute, will ya? These thighs are killing me.
You know what's so sad is that we're over here and we're just laughing. We're having a good time at the memes and just finding the comedy in something stupid like this. But you just know that there's people out there on social media right now that are reposting these videos that I'm showing you and actually taking them serious. Like, you just know there's somebody out there calling you an incel if you laugh at something like this. Or they're calling you like whatever word they can come up with, grifter, incel, whatever nonsense. Like, you just know that there's actually somebody out there taking this shit so seriously and calling you an incel because you're laughing at this. It's like, really?
Christ, is it hot today?
Come on.
Can we not do this in the shade?
It's pretty funny. Oh, not the gear, bro. They literally... Okay. They literally put the UI from God of War over this. Oh, shit.
Can't be bothered with this.
Pink feminist blade, level 6.
Shit, fuck the patriarchy. Give me a Mars bar. You bleeding bastard! Hold on, give me a minute. Can't be fighting in this heat. See? That's better. Now, where were we?
He just walks away.
You're not Kratos' mother.
I blazing well am. I am. I pushed the bald bastard out.
Callista is...
Nah, love. I rewrite the rules.
God, how accurate is that? Like, no, love. I don't care about your lore. I rewrite the rules. Bro, so fucking accurate. God, it's so painful.
Oh, my bad.
There he is. My big, grumpy, bald, bouncing baby son.
Leave this place. I'm in no mood for games.
I'm not gonna lie. I would watch this as a movie. I really would. Like, I need a full-length film of this right now.
Games? Is that any way to talk to your mother, Kratos? I carried you for bloody months. That the thanks I get. Can I get some water? Who the fuck decided to make this in Egypt?
Bro, and the start screen is just nothing but pink nonsense. Look at the bottom. New journey, boss queens, goddess gear, sisterhood options. No man can stop what a woman will build. You are enough. Oh, my God. Be loud, be proud. Jesus, they nailed this one. All right, well, anyway. That's enough of the memes. We had a good time. We laughed at it. Let's move on. Okay, couple of things. Number one, apparently people are saying a lot of peers wrote on this game. All right. I got to be honest with you. I don't give a fuck. And I initially wasn't even going to report on this because I feel like she's involving herself in this because of attention or whatever. But anyway, so just really quick to touch on it. Apparently a lot of peers said that she worked on this game full time for 4 years. But then, like, I don't know, the next day or not even the next day or maybe even in the same stream, she said, well, actually, I worked on it for 4 years, but she's not credited. And then on top of that, too, she also said that they basically got rid of pretty much everything that she worked on. She says she worked on it for 4 years, thousands upon thousands of hours of involvement. I wrote characters, levels, story beats, dialogue, etc. And then she said she left in late 2024, and the work they're doing now is much harder. I'm currently not involved, and plenty of my work will have been replaced. So you did thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours writing characters, levels, story beats, and dialogue, and it's pretty much all been replaced? This is... Do you see why I'm not even bothering? Do you see, like, I don't even care, brother. Moving on. It sounds like somebody wanting to interject themselves into the conversation. So in any case, let's just keep going. So we got Melee K here, and we're just kind of going over random comments, and I just felt like this entire segment is going to be all around exploring the conversation and the nonsense that's happening around this game, right? Whether you are excited for this game or not excited for this game, I don't care. You play whatever you want. You guys, I'm not going to tell you what to play and not play. Play whatever the fuck you want. I don't agree with it, but you just play whatever you want. But for me personally, I find it to be pretty funny, all the nonsense going on. So let's talk about it. So Melee K said, the defense for the new God of War is now an attempt at calling me gay because he thinks I'm a man. This is beautiful. Why are you so into muscle hunks, dude, right? People don't even, like... Anyway, the response is what got my interest. Thank you for traveling into the future, playing the game in its entirety, and traveling back through time to share your insights. Just wait until the game is released before you pass judgment. So here's the problem. Kind of similar to Joel's super chat, Joey's super chat earlier, okay? And again, no slight to Joey. Shout out to Joey. I don't agree, but I'm going to explain why, okay? So my problem with this mindset is that only in the gaming industry are you supposed to spend money on something before you're allowed to have an opinion on it, right? Only in the gaming industry are you supposed to go and give the companies money before you can actually give an opinion on it and on how it looks, right? I'm telling you right now that mindset is completely bullshit. Okay? That's like saying you have to buy the house before you could give an opinion on how the house looks. It's completely bullshit. I'm going to explain to you why. This person says that essentially you got to play the game in its entirety. He's obviously, trolling. You got to play the game in its entirety, and share your insights after the fact. And then says, just wait until the game is released before you pass judgment. Why? Why do you have to do that? See, here's the thing. If a trailer comes out and your judgment about the game is that you're not interested, that means the trailer has failed you. That means that the trailer has failed to do its job with you as a consumer of video games. That's not to say that the trailer's not going to do a good job with other people who perhaps don't care as much, or perhaps don't, I guess they're not like as invested or whatever. But at the end of the day, if the trailer does not excite you or does not want to get you to buy the game, it has failed its mission with you as a player. Straight up, plain and simple. I find it funny that the people that are telling others to not have an opinion about the game until they play it are apparently allowed to have an opinion about the game before they play it. Somebody else is saying they don't like the game based off the trailer. You're saying that's not okay, but apparently you saying you like the game and you gonna buy it because of the trailer, apparently that's okay? So you're allowed to say you're gonna buy the game from the trailer, but you can't say, you're not allowed to say you're not gonna buy the game from the trailer. So the trailer can only have a one-way reaction, according to a lot of these people. I don't quite understand that. The trailer has only one job and one job's only, and that's to entice you to buy. And if you do not buy, that means it failed you. And if somebody else says they are going to buy, that means it succeeded for them. Straight up. That's it. Everybody else trying to gaslight you into saying you got to play the game? No. Listen, there's one time and one time only that you have to play the game before you have any say about the game. And that's if you're saying you're going to review the game. Everybody looking at the trailer is not trying to review the game. They're just having an opinion about the game based off the trailer that they saw. If you're going to review the game and actually have talking points about the game and what's in the game, then yes, you should be playing the game, obviously. But if you're not going to be reviewing the game, because everybody's not a reviewer, then of course you're allowed to have a fucking opinion. Whether it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter. That's what the trailer is for. If you're saying that we shouldn't pass judgment based on the trailer only, well, then perhaps the trailer should have a little bit more information on it so we could make a better decision. But based off the trailer right now and what they showcase, people have their thoughts on it. And just because it's not positive doesn't mean anything. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. Oh, by the way, crazy felting happened. So out of all the people that were going to make Santa Monica Studios have a meltdown, I'm sorry. I was trying to be serious. God of War, bro, Domino's Pizza UK. Out of all the people, Domino's Pizza UK said a God of War game with no Kratos is like pepperoni passion with no pepperoni. Bro, and think about it. That's the UK. And you already know how the UK is. I'm sorry for all my UK viewers. I apologize, but unfortunately, your government's a little crazy. But anyway, that's besides the point. So then Santa Monica Studios said, okay, thanks for the feedback, Domino's Pizza corporate account. Oh! You know what's funny? You just know that was probably some blue-haired fucking 19-year-old random person that runs that corporate account over at Santa Monica Studios. They were so triggered that they had to use, by the way, their own corporate account to respond to a corporate account. Brother, it's yellow on yellow crime. It's a yellow checkmark on yellow checkmark crime. Right? Think about that. Think about that. Right? So think about all that. I just think that's so funny. Like, how are you using a corporate account to make fun of somebody else using a corporate account? I don't get it. Anyway, you love to see it. So Joey says for a 10, wrong. What I meant to say was to wait for more information to come out to them to make an educated decision to purchase the game or not. That's fair, Joey. But see, the thing is, people are making a decision right now based on the information that they have. They showcase 20-minute. It's a 20-minute trailer. That's not a short trailer. Let me explain the attention spans of people. Most trailers for movies are 2 minutes or less, maybe 3 minutes, depending on how far they're trying to go with it. 3 minutes or less. They got 20 minutes to try to win someone over. And unfortunately, that trailer failed for a lot of people. Now, again, the trailer succeeded for a lot of people too, and that's fine. That's fine. But it doesn't matter whether you have a little bit of information or a lot of information. The core information about the game was revealed. And that core information is something that a lot of people said, I don't want to participate in. Right? So what more information can come out that's going to change the fact that this game is titled and featuring Laufey? What information is going to come out that's going to change that? Nothing. Right? Even if Kratos ends up showing up, let's say, in the third half of the game, later in the game, it doesn't matter. You're going to play the majority of the game as Laufey. It's titled after her. It's pretty obvious that that's the goal, and no amount of information is going to change that outcome. So they can come up with more, they could come up with more trailers, they could come up with more whatever. Nothing is going to change that core aspect of the game, right? So, and because of that, I don't think anything's really going to happen because of that, right? So, in any case, but I get what you're saying, but I don't really think it applies here. If you were to say that about Wolverine, then maybe you would be onto something, because Wolverine showcased pretty much what people were looking for, but they need to show more. But anyway, that's besides the point. We'll talk about Wolverine after. So Atreus put out a video.
So listen, I'm not trying to convince you that the new God of War game based on Kratos' wife is woke. I'm not. I'm just going to say, I'm just throwing this out here. I'm just throwing it out there. You see it. You can't unsee it now.
Oh, you know what I like about this too? Is that this is like pictures like this are being spread around everywhere right now on X. They're spreading around pictures like this. And by the way, there's a massive fucking felting that's about to come in a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. Where somebody actually ended up posting a picture trying to say, well, where was your complaints with this? Actually, you know what? Let me pause this. Let me just get right to it. Do I have it saved? If I don't have it saved, I'm going to be very sad. I might have to be very sad. Oh, right here. This person says, hey, Halfwit, ever noticed these two? Right? Guys, what do you notice about this? What do you notice about this photo? He tried to own the chuds with this photo. What do you notice? What do you notice? I'm going to tell you because we're trying to film a video, so I can't wait. Guys, Returnal was not replaced by Sorrows. Totally different fucking game. It's not even the same game. This moron thought that Sorrows was in the same universe as Returnal. And even if it wasn't, it doesn't, like they openly admitted it's a totally different game. Totally different game. Does not apply here. But it gets even better. Notice how they have 2B and they said 2B was replaced? Well, did you know that this character actually came before 2B? Brother, 2B came after. 2B came after. After. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Anyway, so I just wanted I had to show that. That's near replicant. Yes, I know. I just had to show that because it was fucking top tier comedy. I'm sorry. Like, I hope he ends up getting community. Did he get community noted? No. I hope he gets community noted because this person revealed themselves as a complete retard. Like, you're retarded. You're stupid. Anyway, moving on. Let's get back to this. Here we go.
I'm not saying anything. You do with what you want to do with this. I'm just saying. Now, two things can be true. All right? There are absolutely wife-beating, incel-chin retards out here trying to convince you that everything is woke. That's true. What can also be true is that this is an industry with a very clear mandate and goal in mind. Now, when it comes to movies, video games, books, and characters in general, these fictional entities have to earn real estate in your mind share. They have to earn real estate in the daily fantasy that goes on in your mind.
I do think it's funny that there are people that are constantly, because again, I said this on my last stream, there are people that will spend their entire days constantly justifying characters like Faye. They'll tell you, and they only come out, by the way, when situations like this happen, because before this happened, was anybody talking about Faye? When anybody was playing God of War, did anybody talk about Faye? Even though in the first game, obviously, it was based around her death and having to spread her ashes and whatnot and going on the pilgrimage with Atreus and all that stuff. Like, was anybody talking about Faye in that manner? Was anybody explaining how amazing she was and how she was a warrior and she was this and all her background and her lore and all this shit? Was anybody talking about her? No. No. Obviously not. Almost nobody was talking about her in any manner like that. It's only when situations like this happen where suddenly all the Wikipedia justification warriors come out and they're like, well, actually, you know, they pull the whole, well, actually, you get what I'm saying? It only happens after these situations. And then they spend their entire, like, next couple of weeks justifying something that they never spoke about prior to this. And then and the best part is that they gaslight you and they all suddenly pretend as if this is the most amazing thing they ever saw and that they totally wanted this and that they're so excited to see this. They'll gaslight you. Meanwhile, they never spoke about it before, never once mentioned it prior. And it's kind of easy to verify because if you look at their accounts and you look at God of War on their accounts, they're only talking about anything related to Kratos. But now apparently it's like, oh, no, that's not true. You get what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, just be honest. Just be honest. You know, if you're a Sony fanboy, that's fine. Do your thing. I don't care. If you can't, like, for ideological reasons, you can't say you hate it, okay. Just be honest about it. You know what I mean? Like, just be honest. Who fucking cares? Like, it's the fact that people are lying and blatantly lying and then getting mad at you when you say, well, it seems like you're lying about this or that you're gaslighting about this. And then they look at you and pretend like they don't understand what you're saying. What's that famous line? How, you know, what is it? Like leftists pretend like, and again, this is not even a left or right wing thing. I'm just saying the famous line, but like leftists pretend as if they don't understand something so that discourse becomes impossible. That's kind of how Twitter is. Twitter is essentially like that, where everybody pretends like they don't understand what the other person is saying so that discourse is impossible. Same thing here, right? So
the
anyway,
Master Chief has done that. Captain America and Iron Man have done that, okay? Kratos has done that. And in the little time that we've had with him, even Atreus has done that on some, you know, level, if not from anything other than the boy meme. Under no circumstances has anybody thought about Faye. Let's keep it a bean. Nobody cares about Faye.
It's funny how we went from nobody cares about Faye to suddenly everybody cares about Faye. Well, I should say pretending to care about Faye, but you get what I'm saying. Like it went from nobody saying a single fucking lick about Faye, a single word being uttered about Faye outside of her death, and the fact that Kratos' and Atreus' story was essentially moved from that plot point. Nobody mentioned it outside of that. And of course, in the game, she gets mentioned every now and then, but at the end of the day, they are focusing on Kratos and Atreus. But realistically, Kratos, you know?
And I know what you're thinking. Okay, well, if you don't like it, just don't play it. Don't. Why be upset about it? Why be so toxic about it?
What he's about to say, I completely agree with. And this is really where a lot of people are at. And people just don't want to admit this. They want to pretend like it's only because it's a woman. They want to pretend like it's only because of XYZ, whatever. But what he's about to say is 100% true.
And that's because this is a zero-sum game. All right? Remember that Ubisoft could have made the Division-style game based around the Mandalorians from Star Wars.
Yep.
And instead, we got Star Wars Outlaws.
Yep.
Which
massive fucking waste of time, massive waste of money, completely ruined the company financially on top of everything else right now. It's like people want more of the stuff that they enjoy. You know? It's like, how hard is that? How hard is that to understand? And I want to be very clear, because I said this the other day. People seem to think that Sony and PlayStation and companies like Santa Monica Studios or whatever, they seem to think that those companies don't know who their audience is. I want to be as clear as possible when I say this. They absolutely, positively, 100% know exactly who their audience is. They're not out of touch. They're not going in blind. They know exactly who their audience is, and they're choosing to provide their audience with something that most of them don't want. They're choosing to do that. Because, again, you could talk about how, oh, you know, Ghost of Yotei sold 3 million copies. Yeah? Can you imagine what a Ghost of Tsushima 2 would have sold with the continuation of Jin Sakai's story? I'm sure you sold 3 million copies. That's great. But can you imagine what a Tsushima 2 would have sold, considering that it took you, like, what, a month or two to sell 3 million copies, but it took Tsushima just a couple of weeks to sell 5? So imagine what it did in 3 months. Imagine what it did in a year. Imagine what a sequel, a proper sequel, would have done. But instead, they chose to say, nope, we're going to give the audience what they don't want, and we're going to tell them to like it. And the truth is, some people are okay with being told to like it. And they'll just buy it up because, well, to be fair, PlayStation really doesn't have a lot of first-party games available right now. So they're just buying up whatever little bit they can. You know? So it's the same thing with God of War. Everybody knows that a God of War 3 would have definitely sold better than this game. But they chose to do this first. They flat out chose to do this. You know? So, anyway, let's keep going.
Means that because this game is made, we've missed out on another God of War game, maybe set in Egypt. We've missed out on another Resistance game, right? We've missed out on hell. Another Jack and Daxter game, for crying out loud. That is why people are upset.
Yeah, no, he's right. He's right. It's about, at the end of the day, when you think about it from a gamer perspective, and if God of War is one of your favorite franchises, right? If it's one of your favorite franchises and you love Kratos and you just love the gameplay, you love playing as Kratos, if you're not interested in this game, you now have to wait double the amount of time to get a God of War 3, like a real God of War 3. You have to wait double the amount of time than you should have waited because somebody else wanted to play house. That's what has to happen, you know? That's what has to happen. You now have to, however long, when did God of War Ragnarok come out? 22 or something? Hold on, let me see. When did God of War Ragnarok release? Let's see. Hold on. 2022. November 9, 2022. Okay, I was right. So 2022 is when God of War Ragnarok came out. That was 4 years ago. Okay? You now are going to have to wait probably another 4 to 5 years before you get a Kratos God of War game, most likely. I would say it could be a little bit less because now with AI, things are being sped up. But even so, you now have to wait even longer to get the game that you want because they want to play house. So, yeah, naturally, people are going to be upset about that. They're going to be a little bit annoyed. And again, you could go on Twitter and you could see the extremes of both sides. But the normies spoke for themselves at the PlayStation Showcase. If you look at the chat and the way that the chat changed its tune the moment Faye showed herself and people realized what was going on, they went from spamming W's in the chat to spamming L's. You can't fake that. You can't supposedly grift that. That's not fake. That's not a lie. That doesn't just, like, that can't be orchestrated. People were spamming W's nonstop until they realized what was happening, and then they started spamming L's because most normies were just not having it. Anyway, let's keep going. So we got a lot more to go over. I think Atreus has another video. I think this has to do with, let me see. Maximilian Dude, this website sucks if you like anything. Again, I don't understand why people say this. Why do people say this? Like, I understand that X, like I said, I say it all the time. X, no Discord is possible. No discourse, I'm sorry, is possible on X. But my feed on X is almost always like showcasing like indie games and video games that I'm interested in because you have to tailor your algorithm to the stuff that you actually like. If you're only seeing negative stuff on your X, that is because of one of two reasons. Either you are constantly engaging with it, which, let's be real, you probably are, or number two, you follow people that are constantly engaging in it, which you probably are, right? Just to be fair. Rob says, this app is genuinely insufferable, a cesspool of negativity, no constructive criticism or thoughtful analysis of things. There is, though. There actually is. There is plenty of constructive criticism on X. And some of the accounts that I follow, they're filled with it. They have it. Like, again, it's how... If you want to have it on your timeline, you have to go seek it, just like anything else. Just like anything else. So Atreus put out another video talking about this.
Man, where all these soy boy ass white dudes come from, man? Oh, this app is so insufferable. There's so much negativity. All I heard was, my pussy hurt. I miss the white dudes that'll log on once a day and go, nigger, and keep it pushing, man. With all this fag shit, fuck up out of here, man. Take your faggot ass.
Oh my God. Okay, I can't watch this. I can't watch this. Jesus Christ, man. Put a warning on it. Put a warning on it, Atreus. What the fuck, man? Anyway, so listen, I'm sorry. God damn, man. He's just going off for no reason, man. Keep going. No. Anyway, the man has a good point. Yeah, that's fair. So listen, I want to also counter and talk about one particular cope that's going around right now. If you guys have been looking at the discourse around Laufey, right? One of the biggest copes that I have been seeing is the fact that they're not replacing Kratos because this is a side story. Have you guys been hearing that? That they're not replacing Kratos because it is a side story. Have you heard that? Because I know I heard that, right? There's a couple of things I want to go over. Look at this. Kratos isn't the title character. The title character is God of War, and when there are many, and as you can see in the new trailer, those two gods we see who capture Faye are both dead gods of war from different places. Oh, so now suddenly Kratos was never the titular character. He was never the titular character. He was never the God of... Anyway, bro, I'm so sick of this. So they were trying to say that it's a side story, okay? They're trying to say, guys, why are you melting down? It's not a side story. I'm sorry, it's not a mainline game. It's a side story. Brother, the biggest felting just happened. I want to show you. Look at this. I took a screenshot. Cracker says, people are saying this is a spinoff. Is that true? German Strands, who, by the way, German Strands has like 80K followers, is followed by all these major accounts, Santa Monica Studios, all these major accounts, right? So this is the person who you go to when you want the shill version of like mainstream PlayStation news. He said it's the next mainline chapter, and not only that, he quote tweeted PlayStation themselves. He quote tweeted PlayStation themselves. God of War Laufey is the next mainline chapter in Santa Monica Studios series. So all the people out there right now on social media that are trying to gaslight you and they're trying to say, it's just a side story, guys. Clearly, how can you not see that? How can you not see it's a side story? I don't understand. You're making such a big deal over a side story. It's not a fucking side story, brother. This is what we've been trying to tell you. It was pretty obvious that it's not a side story. It was obvious by the way they titled this game that it was not a side story. But in any case, so God of War Laufey is the official next mainline chapter. And for all the people saying it's a side story, stop lying, because it's not. It's a mainline game. So she did, in fact, replace Kratos, even if it's only for this game only. Because I know that's the next goalpost. They're going to be like, well, if it's not a side story, it doesn't matter. It's only one game. Okay. And I understand. So she replaced him for this one game. No, she didn't. Yes, she did. She replaced him for this one game. Even if it's only one game, she still replaced him for one mainline entry in a God of War video game. I already know what's going to happen. I have a gut feeling that what's going to end up happening is Kratos is going to be playable at some point in time in this game. And they're purposely keeping it quiet because they know if they give this information out, they can't plot twist it later down the line. So they're going to keep it quiet, right? But it is in my belief that Kratos is going to be playable at some point towards the end of this game. And then what's going to happen is all the accounts that want to own the chuds, they're going to be like, see? Kratos didn't get replaced. He's in the game now. See? That's what it's going to be. Now, chances are it's probably going to be a fight with Kratos because they definitely want to show Faye versus Kratos. But, in all serious conversation, I really genuinely do believe that they're going to make Kratos playable in this game at some point, and they're purposely keeping it quiet because they want to own the chuds later over it. That's why they're doing this, So I guess we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so I saw that and I thought that was pretty funny. Now, moving on, went over this. Now, I've also been seeing this, and this is so disingenuous. I'm not even like, bro, what are we doing? So Natty Woke to Silva says the following. Never stopped y'all from playing as Link despite the game being named The Legend of Zelda. How do we, again, like, are we being serious or are we not? I don't believe any of this. I don't believe any of this. Guys, the game is called Legend of Zelda, okay? It's called Legend of Zelda. Link is the main character in Legend of Zelda, all right? The name has always been Legend of Zelda. So if Zelda ends up mainlining one of her games that have her own name in it, nobody would view that as anything ridiculous because it's had her name in it since the beginning. It's had her name in it since the beginning. She is just as important as Link. Link is the playable character and Zelda is the plot point. For the most part. But she did mainline her own game a couple of times. And it's her own game because her name's in the fucking title. And it's been that way since the beginning. So how can you compare a video game that has always been called The Legend of Zelda and then all of a sudden try to compare it to God of War that has always meant Kratos, even though you guys don't want that to be true? We all know it is true. God of War has, in the video game perspective, always meant Kratos. And now they're using God of War and replacing him with his wife, who has never mainlined a single God of War video game ever. It is not even close to being the same. But of course, these people want to make it the same or try desperately to make it the same because they want to own the chuds. It's all about trying to get an own at the chuds. And they're desperately trying to throw whatever they can at the wall and hoping that it sticks. Right? So to try to say this is ridiculous. I'll tell you this. If the game was called Legend of Link, okay? If the game was called Legend of Link and Zelda was a side character in the story, and all of a sudden, 15, 20 years later, they want to make a Legend of Zelda game, I guarantee you people would have the same reaction. Maybe not to the same ferocity because it's Nintendo, and a lot of Nintendo fans are like super fucking consumers, but I still think that people would have a similar reaction of like how do you put it? Like whiplash. People would have a whiplash effect, you know? Why use the God of War name? We all know why. Of course we all know why, because they can't sell it without it. If this was called Laufey, a Nordic adventure or something, it would probably not sell nowhere near as much. They need to rely on the name God of War so that when somebody's walking through GameStop or somebody's walking through Target or somebody's walking through fucking Best Buy with their 13-year-old son and they're going through the video game section and the kid sees, oh, God of War, Daddy. God of War. Can I have the God of War game? They know that most people, I mean, listen, I saw it as plain as day. When I was reacting to the PlayStation State of Play, I saw the normies melt down in real time. I saw hundreds of thousands of people who were disconnected from gaming discourse, who had no idea about any of this. We've been talking about this for months. It's been rumored that this was going to happen for months. And yet I witnessed with my own eyes hundreds of thousands of people just get completely shocked because they had no idea. So again, as much as like I love doing this and having these conversations and stuff, at the end of the day, there is still so many people that do not know what the fuck's going on. They have literally no idea. So this gaslighting on Twitter, this gaslighting all over social media, none of this shit exists to me because I saw the truth with my own eyes at the PlayStation State of Play at the reactions. You know, I saw the truth about it. I saw it with my own eyes, you know? So anyway, so this comparison is fucking stupid, obviously, and we all know that. And then Domino's Pizza, obviously completely cooked them. I had that. Now, keep in mind, a couple of things. there's a couple of articles that are going around. God of War will always tell stories about Kratos, says Sony Santa Monica. Creative lead Corey Balrog. But God of War Laufey gives devs a chance to surprise you. Notice how they love doing that? They love doing that, right? They love subverting. What is it? Subverting expectations? Yeah, it's all about subverting expectations. You know? Yeah, exactly. Except this one. Yeah. God of War will always tell stories about Kratos, except this one. Although it's what it's gonna be. Bro, I'm gonna make my predictions. I could be wrong, I could be right, but here's my predictions about the game, okay? This game is all gonna be about Faye and making her to be, because they kind of hinted at this in the other games. They kind of like explained it in a way, how she was kind of like guiding them along their journey. They're going to make Faye into the reason why everything happened the way that it did. They're going to turn her into the hero. Kratos wouldn't have been able to do everything that he did without her, kind of a thing. Again, even though they kind of hinted at that, they're going to flesh it out. They're going to really showcase that. They want to drive it home, right? Like, she's the one doing the real battles, right? While Kratos and Atreus are doing what they're doing, she's the one fighting the real fight, you know? They're going to make it like something where she's essentially going to be the reason why everything is kind of working out. The key to everything. Yeah, exactly. Like the typical key to everything story. And then I genuinely believe, like, towards the end, they're going to hand the reins back to Kratos in the same game. And they're going to say, see? You see? We told you every single God of War game is going to be having a story about Kratos. You just didn't want to believe us. You didn't want to let us cook. You know, that's really what they're trying to do here. So that's my predictions. My predictions are Faye's going to be the key to everything. She's going to be the reason why everything worked out the way they did. Kratos is going to come swoop in right at the very end, and you're going to be able to play as him for a short moment in the game. But most of the game is going to be played by Faye, obviously, and that's kind of where I'm at with this. Right? That's kind of where I'm at with it. And again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If it's not coming out on PC, I don't give a fuck. Ragnarok, you know what's so interesting? Ragnarok sold half of what the first God of War did. And that's with it being out on PC. Now they're about to release God of War Laufey, and they're not releasing it on PC either. Bro, it's going to be hilarious, actually. It's going to be pretty damn hilarious. Game Master says a demon god and Egyptian goddess look really freaking cool. I agree. They do look really cool. They do look really, really cool. I said that when I was reacting to the trailer. There are parts of it. Listen, again, I'm not going to lie to you. There are parts of it that look pretty interesting. There are parts of it that look really fucking cool, right? But with all due respect, I would rather fight the demon guy as Kratos versus fighting the demon guy as Faye with a fucking jello and a sword. Like, I would much rather fight as Kratos than fight as fucking heavily sword wannabe with a jello in the corner. Like, I feel like this is some sort of marketing for jello. Like, it's a jello in the corner with a talking sword. Like, I would much rather do that. I'm sorry. You know? But of course, it is what it is. Like, what gelatinous cube or whatever it's called. It is what it is. So that's that. I really got nothing else to say, man. I mean, this is probably going to be my last video on it unless something else major gets revealed. But I really have nothing else to say about this game. I have zero plans to play it because it's not coming out on PC. If it ever comes out on PC, we could explore that when we get there. But until it does, I just don't fucking care. I don't care. It is what it is. What am I supposed to say at that point? But to pretend as if she's not replacing Kratos in a mainline video game, you guys need to stop lying. Corey has confirmed that it is a mainline video game. PlayStation themselves have confirmed that it is a mainline video game. And even if she only replaces him in the game for 80 to 90% of the time, she still is replacing him. She still is. You could try to turn it into it, or maybe, you know what? Maybe what they'll probably end up doing is they'll probably end up doing what they did with Kratos and Atreus, but instead they're going to do it with Kratos and Faye, where they're going to have Kratos running alongside Faye, and Kratos will be the side character like Atreus is, and you'll be able to control both of them at different times, but for the most part, it's going to be focused around Faye. Maybe they'll do that. But ultimately, all I'm saying is, regardless of whatever your plans are, and whatever your supposedly surprises are, and your subverting of expectations, all I'm going to tell you is that the trailer that you put out there is a really bad first impression, And it's going to ruin any chance for anybody to give you remotely an opportunity to surprise them. And I don't think that's unfair to say. Personally, I don't think that's unfair to say. All right, I'm going to resume the TTS. Guys, give me a moment. There's a lot that came in. Let's see what you guys have to say. There is a lot. Hold on. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got going on.
I've done a script writing class taught by dudes in the games industry. I can tell you 1 page of script is 1 minute of dialogue, even in film. HRS would be 60,000 pages. This is BS.
60,000
Reminder,
pages.
Pierce is part of the push to uglify female characters, but her character in Dispatch is the most thirsted over character in the fandom.
Okay, makes
Wrong.
sense.
What
Tom,
I
thank
meant
you for
to
the
say
5.
was to wait for more information to come out to them make an educated decision to purchase the game or not.
There's nothing more that could come out that'll make me want to buy
Definitely
it.
not on my bingo card for 2026 with both dominoes
Joey,
cooking
thank you for the 10.
something good and a fucking wheelie bin meme.
TV Carroll, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that.
Never judge a book by its cover, but that's literally what the synopsis on the book jacket is for.
Literally.
Time is finite. Money is hard-earned.
You have a small amount of time to win someone's attention these days. A small amount of time. Why do you think TikToks, they give you like 3 seconds at the beginning?
So when it comes to
otherwise you
Domino's, the UK one is the good one BTW. Papa John's is terrible here. And Pizza Hut is kind of just D34D.
D34D. Benjamin, thank you for the 5. Yeah, I was so shocked it was the
I
UK
got
one.
replaced by a HR Karen. I'm your freaking mascot. Soini, you're proving everyone that you're incompetent.
Soini.
Hashtag my.
You know, if that was a Wendy's account
Odin, thank you for
mocking
the 5.
Santa Monica, you know Wendy's would go ham on them.
Bro, how has Wendy's not actually said anything? I want to see Wendy's opinion on this. I do. I want to see Wendy's, like, go crazy.
Hashtag Jill.
There once was a lady named Jill who tried a grenade for a thrill. Sadly, the overlords won't let me finish this limerick. You can hear it on Spotify, though, as it's a song.
At
Speedy Cake with the 20, thank you, sir.
5824 celebrates 8 months of membership.
8 months as a
if it
sergeant,
hasn't
thank
been
you.
mentioned yet, the new Ace Combat game is open for pre-order, and if you get the Ultimate Edition, you get Ace
Dude.
Combat Zero: The Balkan War included, as well as 3 days early access on 29/9.
I really liked the trailer.
When
I really
the
liked the
cube
Ace Combat
starts
trailer.
talking like a Silicon Valley soy latte hipster, I knew this is going to be Forspoken 2.0. Just laughed and not took it seriously.
Absolutely, Game Master. Absolutely.
Hashtag my.
Thank you for the 5.
I wonder if the real reason why Sony doesn't want to release their games on PC is reasons like this to show the
Of
public
course.
the feltoning.
I think that's part of it. I don't think that's the whole reason, obviously, but I think that's definitely part of it. I think that's like an extra bonus for them, where if they can refuse access to PC through Steam, then that allows them to not have their public numbers available for people to laugh at. Especially since they're trying to convince people that their sequels are doing so much better than their first games. But we all know that not a single one of their sequels has outsold the first game. Not a single one.
4835 celebrates 24 months of membership.
Adair Soto.
And again, there's so much purple lighting in that game. Why? And that tells me there's a pattern recognition here.
What, you don't like purple? You don't like purple? Thank you, bro. I appreciate 24 months. Yeah, no, seriously, I think that it is a... I think it's like an extra for them not having to show their games on Steam, because not a single one of their games have ever sold more as a sequel than the initial games, because every single sequel has done some fuckery experimental bullshit with it that many people didn't like, and they eventually checked out of them and didn't even bother buying the game. So if you look at Spider-Man, Spider-Man 1 sold way more than Spider-Man 2. It even sold more than Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales combined, by the way. Think about that. Spider-Man 1 sold more than the 2 other games combined. And like I mentioned before, look what happened with Spider-Man 2, okay? Spider-Man Miles Morales came out and everybody said it was a glorified DLC, myself included. But they tried to make it its own mainline game.
But, Mr. Hassan, who did not shock his dog, told us this will be the best Go game.
Oh, I don't give a
sure
fuck
hope
about
them
that.
make the NFL without using pads, round ball, and only using their feet.
That would be insane, Trey. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate that, bro. Again, Miles Morales came out, and everybody was like, he's replacing Peter Parker. And then they gaslit us and said, no, he's not replacing Peter Parker. Then Spider-Man 2 comes out, and they put both of them in the same game. And then what happens by the end of Spider-Man 2? Miles Morales retires Peter Parker. Whether it's temporary or whether it's not, at the end of the day, that's where the story was going. And they made it very obvious, very, very obvious, that Miles Morales was taking over for the next mainline game, and that they were going to introduce other characters to run alongside Miles Morales while Peter Parker stays as you know, side character in retirement, whatever, so that he could focus on his relationship with what do you call it, with Mary Jane. That's what the story was. That's where the story was going. If anybody played Spider-Man 2, sorry if I spoiled it for you, but that's where they were going with that. So, with all that being said, they could do something similar with this, where you could have Faye in her own game, and then the next God of War game is going to have both of them running side by side to each other. Because if you look at the trailer, Faye is trying to spend her time getting back to Kratos. The little Jello cube and stuff was like, don't you want to go back, don't you? She keeps saying, yeah, I want to go back. So she's trying to go back to Kratos. She'll probably end up going back to Kratos and Atreus, and then you're going to have a whole big family video game with those two together in the next one. You know? Akuma says, so Miles can have a relationship with no issues, yet Peter and MJ don't. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm just telling you what happens. So, let's check Rumble really quick. Rumble, what do we got, man? Guys, don't forget, we do got the battle going on. We do have Jill Valentine versus Mai, and Jill, I believe, is getting felted. So if you're a Resident Evil fan, consider helping her out. Let's see, what do we got? Anything on Rumble? Let me check really quick. Let me scroll up. All right, we're good on Rumble. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Makes Faye's death pointless. It really does. I do agree with that. It's so funny how I haven't seen anybody else cover it from that aspect, where Faye coming back to life, well, not coming back to life, she's obviously in the realm of the dead gods or whatever, but you get what I'm saying. Like, bringing back Faye kind of cheapens the entire pilgrimage of the first game, where the first game was driven by the fact of the loss of Faye and spreading her ashes in the place that she wanted to have her ashes spread. Why is it that now we're playing as her in a game that's not a prequel? It's running alongside the first two games, so it completely cheapens the experience and the impact of her death, because now we realize that, oh, she's not actually technically dead. She's over there just having at it and going to war with all these other gods and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of weird. Like, nobody needed to know that. Nobody needed to see that. Like, there are certain stories, and I've said this many times, and I stand by it. There are certain stories that don't have to be told. There are certain stories that should be left as a mystery. And I think Faye's death and anything surrounding her death should have been left as a mystery. I really do, because now it's like you're over-explaining. Now it's like you're so desperate to try to find anything to continue the story that you're willing to even do this whole adventure with a dead character when nobody asked for that. You know? But anyway, maybe we can still play as Joel in the afterlife. I know, give us Last of Us 3, but you play as Joel in the afterlife where all he's doing is trying to hunt and fight a whole bunch of muscular women. That's what... Can we make that happen? Make it happen. Make it happen right now. Maybe this was a DLC and it decided to make it its own game. That's also possible. And to be honest with you, I feel like this probably would have went over a lot better as a DLC. You know? I think it would have went a lot better as a DLC.
My, oh my. Her two pair of personalities is fluffy, huge, and amazing to touch.
Damn. Damn. His pilgrimage to hell to destroy Abby's soul. I mean, let's be real. Abby's soul is already destroyed. She destroyed it herself, so just kind of being fair. Red Dead Redemption 3, we play as Arthur in the West of the Sky. Yes. Yes, we play as Ghost Arthur, who is trying to get his revenge on Micah somehow, some way. Somehow, some way, they're trying to get revenge on each other still to this day. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, let's continue. Let's continue the conversation. Let's talk about Wolverine. Let me pause the TTS really quick. We got to talk about Wolverine because there is some new information that has officially come out regarding Wolverine. Oh, before we do that, boys, I didn't cover this in a segment, and now I'm kind of angry about that. God of War Laufey star Deborah Ann Wohl says Kratos' gameplay is so fantastic because he's such a heavy hitter, but the new protagonist Faye is just as strong and just as good as a warrior. Did Wikipedia tell you that? Thanks. Yeah, we already know. We already know about Faye versus Kratos and how they fought to a standstill and how she fought Thor and all that stuff or whatever. Like, yeah, we know that. Like, we know that. Like, and? Bro, you really think she played the game? You really think she played any of the games? You really think she actually know? No. She was told to say this. She was literally told to say this. And this is why people think that you're replacing Kratos. Because when you start using language as, she's just as strong, guys. She's just as good as a boy. The fact that you have to constantly justify tells me that you know that nobody wants to play as Faye. So you're trying to convince people that it's going to be as fun and as cool to play as Faye. You're trying to convince people. And some people are easily convinced. Some people will do it just no matter what because they're shills. Some people, doesn't take much to convince them. They'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll try it out because they only play AAA video games. They have no other options. And some people can't be convinced as easily. And some people just won't be convinced. But again, they constantly tell you. Yes, she's the same. Yes. She's amazing. Notice how they don't have to do that for Kratos. Notice how they don't have to constantly justify Kratos. They don't have to say, hey, guys, Kratos is amazing. He's this, he's that, he's whatever. Like, you don't have to justify Kratos. It's because Kratos earned his place and earned his keep in your mind. That's what Atreus was explaining, and I agree with that. Kratos earned his place in most people's minds. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Wolverine. All right, so Wolverine overall, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate Wolverine. I know some people didn't like Jean Grey and stuff like that. Fine, whatever. Ultimately, she just looks really old, which of course makes you wonder. Anyway, so there's a couple of things I want to go over with Wolverine that I find to be very interesting. Number one of the things we noticed with Wolverine is how much blood and gore there was, which I personally, I loved it. I thought that was awesome. Again, I have zero plans to play this game. I'm looking at it objectively from the outside looking in because unless it comes out on PC, I'm not playing it. So I'm just telling you what the trailer showed me. Because guess what? You're allowed to have an opinion about a video game based off of a trailer. That's what a trailer's for, okay? Anybody watching this, if you think that you're not allowed to have an opinion based off a trailer, I don't really know what a trailer is to you. Perhaps you could define it and let me know, but that's what a trailer's for. So anyway, Marvel Wolverine, there was a lot of blood, there was a lot of gore, there was dismemberment, there was all that shit. It was fantastic. I think that part was fantastic. But apparently they're going to give you an option to turn it off, okay? Apparently, they're going to give you an option to turn off all the blood and all the gore in the game, which I feel like, why would you do that? It's a little bit weird. I understand if you have kids, but then again, if you have kids, they probably shouldn't be playing a character that could cut fucking limbs off and stab people in the head and shit. This is not going to affect your rating either, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be M-rated on top of that as well. So there's that. But I just want to let you guys know that right off the bat. Okay, so the more important thing is that, to my knowledge, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I am wrong. I don't think I'm wrong on this, but you guys let me know. To my knowledge, Wolverine was supposed to be an open world video game, at least in a similar fashion to Spider-Man. Maybe not as big as a map. To my knowledge, it was supposed to be multiple maps. So multiple places that you could visit, multiple places you could actually, check out. I think they had a couple of places that they had mentioned in mine already. That was what I believed what was the game was supposed to be. Well, apparently, it's not going to be that way. And I know there's a lot of people out there that think the same way that I did because, well, they're making articles about it. So clearly, there's a lot of people out there that don't know that it's not going to be like a Spider-Man style open world video game. So apparently, Marvel Wolverine is not going to be open world like Spider-Man, and is going to be a linear single player adventure. Which, again, just to be clear, that's not a bad thing. I don't view that as a bad thing. I don't think every single video game should be open world. I don't think every single video game has to be an open world. I'm just curious as to why the change. Because if you remember, Insomniac Games got hacked a long time ago, and Wolverine got leaked online. And the build that people were able to play online, you were able to explore a pretty big map, very similar to Spider-Man. You were able to explore a very, very big map. So I'm curious as to, you know, how this is going to go, if they completely just took that away, or is that map only available for people that want to, you know, I guess they were like testing the game or something. I'm very curious as to why they changed that. They said, how do we make the best Wolverine game possible that represents the character? Let me scroll down really quick. It says, we did not set out to make an open world game or a sandbox game. According to director Mike Daly, what we really wanted was high octane, high intrigue, linear single player adventure, and the missions reflect that in their structure. So the only concern that I have with this entire situation is that, I gotta be real with you, PlayStation single player games, they all play the same. Every single one of them play the same. They are essentially walking simulators with occasional combat scenarios and a lot of cutscenes. I really hope that this is not the case with Wolverine, because Wolverine is a video game that would shine with more gameplay and less bullshit. The more people can get out there and, you know, cut up, you know, a whole bunch of characters and all that shit, like do Wolverine stuff, I think that it will benefit from it. I think they should keep the cinematic nonsense that they're known for with Sony games, because they all operate the same. I'm sorry, if you played a Sony single-player video game from a Sony first-party studio, they all operate in the same fashion. Even if the game is open world, they still operate in the same fashion. They're structured all in the same exact way. So I just hope that there's more gameplay and less bullshit, less movie-style bullshit, because if not, that's going to suck, man. Wolverine should be a video game that you're out there doing Wolverine stuff. You know, epic battles. I thought Sabretooth looked really cool. He was probably my favorite part of the trailer outside of Wolverine himself. But what they showed us, and it's so crazy, because I remember saying, I think I said it, I'm pretty sure, when I was reacting to it, I'm like, this shit looks like every other Sony single-player video game. And it's crazy because what they showed us was so linear. What they showed us was so structured. I was saying that this shit looks like a vertical slice demo, where it doesn't even look like a real game. It looks like your typical vertical slice demo where they're trying to showcase you an idea for a game, but that's how linear it was when it was playing out. So it's so funny now when I found out today that it's not going to be an open world video game. I was like, that makes a lot of sense now, because when I'm looking at the trailer, it plays out exactly like that. You know, it plays exactly like a Sony single-player non-open world game. So anyway, it says, going back to the beginning, we asked ourselves, how do we make the best Wolverine game possible that represents that character? Daily Muses. We thought about Logan's a character who basically travels the world, has traveled the world many times over. He pulled by a search for his past. He's pushed by a sense of duty. And to that end, we decided that a globe-hopping adventure was the right take for this game. Logan is not a character that's anchored in a particular place and spends a lot of time on it. That's fair. Again, that's perfectly fair. I just really hope that all of this shit actually pulls together in a way that's gonna do Wolverine the correct way. You know? So anyway, let's continue. Now, this is another interesting part that a lot of people have no idea about. And I think this is gonna blow most people's minds. Right? Because I think this kind of goes against what people had in their mind for a Wolverine game. But apparently in this game, the X-Men do not exist in Marvel's Wolverine. And there is no Spider-Man either, according to the Insomniac lead. So I don't know when this was told. I don't know when this was said. I just really do, and maybe I'm having like a Mandela effect moment, but I sincerely remember a time in history where they specifically stated that it was going to be in the same universe as Insomniac's Spider-Man. I specifically remember that shit. And again, maybe it's Mandela effect. Maybe I'm fucking up here, getting old, whatever. But I specifically remember that being said, that it was going to be in the same universe as Insomniac's Spider-Man, because I thought eventually they were going to, make a game with all the characters in it. But apparently that's not happening. Apparently it is a completely separate world They are not tied together in any way whatsoever. And Spider-Man just doesn't exist in this game. From a lore perspective. No Spider-Man, no nothing. And no X-Men. So all the people running around with all these powers and shit, well, we're just, apparently we're a society of magical, you know what. We're just a bunch of magical motherfuckers running around doing magical things. Now, here's the thing. It's so confusing because then they say, but they do exist in the same world, right? So it's like they don't exist, but they do exist. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So I think ultimately what this is a really bad communication on their end where they're saying it doesn't exist. It doesn't X-Men don't exist. Spider-Man doesn't exist, but it doesn't exist to Wolverine. But apparently exists in the same world. So are they tied or are they not tied? Like what's going on here? You know? Chaotic Holy says Hypnotic. According to IGN, Insomniac has confirmed that Marvel's Wolverine is set within the same universe as Spider-Man 2, Earth 1048. So it is in the same universe, but they just don't know each other. So you mean to tell me, unless this is a prequel, if it's a prequel to Spider-Man, from a story perspective, then perhaps maybe. But you mean to tell me that nobody, none of these magical motherfuckers, Wolverine, Jean Grey, none of these people know about Spider-Man or Spider-Men at this point? None of them saw what happened in New York? None of them saw what happened in Manhattan? None of them? How is that even possible? I could understand if the X-Men team was not made yet in this universe. Fine. I could definitely understand that. But how the fuck have they not heard of Spider-Man? Even if you're traveling all along the world as Wolverine, you mean to tell me that you just don't know of Spider-Man at this point in time? How is that possible? There's no way. The only way that's possible is if this game takes place before the events of Spider-Man 1. Or maybe it runs alongside Spider-Man 1. But even if it does run alongside Spider-Man 1, you should know at least some of the events that happened in Spider-Man 1. They were pretty huge. How could you not know that? New York and Manhattan is the biggest, it's the most popular city in the world. In terms of overall, like, just everything flows through there. So if something happens there, then people are going to know about it. So unless you are completely turned off from any TV, anything whatsoever, you're going to know if something went down. And I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I just want a story that's a little bit more cohesive and a little bit more understanding. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm asking too much. I don't know. Probably. Given the presence of both Jean Grey and Mystique in Marvel's Wolverine, you'd be forgiven for thinking the game might feature a whole team of students from Xavier's School for Gifted Children. Alas, that's not the case, and this is all about Logan, and we shouldn't expect a maelstrom of X-Men throughout the game's story. At least that's what Marcus Smith has told Eurogamer. The important thing, I guess, is the X-Men don't exist in our game. We wanted to focus on Wolverine's storyline and really build it from that character and build a world that is in a state where mutants aren't well known. They aren't well known, but you got all these motherfuckers running around doing some magical shit. You got fucking Sabretooth out here. You got Jean Grey out here. You got Wolverine out here. You got all these motherfuckers out here doing some crazy magical shit, but nobody knows about. So, bro, are people retarded in this universe? They don't know about mutants. They don't know about Spider-Man. They don't know about nothing. Everybody's just going along their lives. They don't know what anything's happening. Nobody knows what's happening. He clarifies they are known technically. Okay, thank God. Okay, so they're not stupid. Never mind. Forget it. And they're being actively hunted. What? Mutants aren't well known, but they are known, and they're being actively hunted. Hold on. Mutants aren't well known. I feel like I have to read this again. Mutants aren't well known, but then they are known, and they're being actively hunted. So I guess they're trying to say that it's not like the populace. Like, regular people don't know, but the government knows, I suppose. So I guess they're doing that. But again, with all this shit, maybe towards the end of the game, they become well known to the populace. But if you got magical people running around doing magical shit and things are exploding and all this nonsense, you really mean to tell me that people are not going to know about it? I don't know, I guess. They're going real back with this then. How far back is this happening? How far back is this? Like, how far is this story going? I don't understand. There will be a lot of Marvel characters that come into the storyline. So we've already shown Mystique in the earlier trailer. We've shown Sabretooth, Jean Grey in this one, and players can expect to have a lot more throughout the game. So you're gonna add all these fucking mutants, but nobody knows about mutants from the public's perspective. Only like the governments know, I guess. Bro, what is happening right now? The distinction I gather is that while we'll potentially see more mutants, as well as other heroes and villains from Marvel's hallowed pages, the X-Men haven't been established yet as a team or concept in the timeline of Marvel's Wolverine. Yeah, that much I got. I understand that. I'm now suddenly curious about when this thing is set. Yeah, me too. See, that's the thing, because they're old, right? Jean especially is old as fuck in this game. She looks old. I'm sorry. If she's supposed to be in her 20s, you absolutely fucked up. Because she looks old. But this is semantic questions. I'm sure it'll be answered in due time. Yeah, I don't know. I got to be real with you. If this game takes place like super in the past, where Spider-Man wasn't even a thing at the time or whatever, and they're just discovering Logan, because they already said Logan's trying to discover himself and find out like his past and everything like that. So that's an origin story, right? It sounds like they're doing an origin story for Wolverine. I don't know. I just don't know what's going on here. I don't. She looks 45, not 25. Yeah, she definitely looks old. If they're doing an origin story, that would explain no Spider-Man. That would also explain no X-Men team. That would explain all that. So I'll give them that. But goddamn, man, how, like, if you go back this far and they're this old, this far back, by the time you get to Spider-Man, they're going to be in their 50s. They're going to be like fucking 55 out here trying to stand up and their knees are going to be buckling. I don't know, man. This is curious. This is definitely curious. Unless they pull some sort of time travel shit, I don't know. Are people blind in that universe? I don't know, Christian. That's what I'm saying. It's weird, bro. It's like, how is any of this possible? You got these people destroying shit. I saw Sabretooth throwing a fucking, I don't even know what kind of truck. All kinds of shit blowing up. Weenie says, don't try to make it make sense, but I have to. It needs to make sense. Otherwise, my brain's going to be thinking about it for the next 3 hours. Anyway, listen, it's almost there. It's almost there. I just need to know when this game takes place, and then I could think, okay, that kind of makes sense, you know? But anyway, I don't think most people will care. Of course not. Of course not. I care because I care about story and shit, you know? Obviously, people are going to be focused on, ooh, you could cut people. You know, like, I get that. Like, people are going to be... Again, I'm not trying to pretend like this is anybody else who should care like this. It's just me. I'm speaking for myself. That's all I could say, man. I'm speaking for myself. That's all I could ever do. I like to understand the setting. That's all I'm saying. I want to understand the setting. So, anyway, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Wolverine is definitely a game that I would have played and I would have reviewed if it came out on PC, but it's not, so I'm not. So, you know, have fun to the people that are going to be playing this on PlayStation. I'm happy for you. I hope you have a good time. I'm going to be reviewing a lot of other games, but can we stop putting Deborah Wilson and everything? All right, I'm done. I don't want to get attacked. I don't want to get attacked. It was a joke. Not really. It was a joke. She doesn't have to be in everything, okay? Jesus Christ. She's the fucking Pedro Pascal of video games. What are we doing? Anyway, that's basically it. I wanted to go over the story because here's the problem. I saw people spreading this online on X, and they were spreading it online without any context to it. So they were basically trying to say that Insomniac Games is going to be removing X-Men completely from the game and all that stuff. That's not true. It's just, it's kind of one of those like baited headlines where people, you know, they don't realize that they're talking about the team not being formed yet. That's all. With Spider-Man as well. So that's basically it, boys. That's basically it. But this is not as egregious as God of whatever. Obviously, Laufey. You're sick of seeing her face? Bro, she's in everything. She's in literally fucking everything. All right, I'm resuming TTS. Let's see what you guys have to say, and then we'll go from there.
Free samples are not enough to see if you like the taste. You must buy one worth of an item to see if it tastes good to you.
Why'd that sound dirty?
Some street rat says that the X-Men does not exist. That's how Jean meets Logan from the X-Men. These dumb tourists.
These dumb tourists.
We'll get them next time.
Okay,
Dragon.
Grandpa Hypno, it's time to take your meds and time to go to bed. You said much as you can say it's time to go night-night.
Oh, come on, bro. That's crazy. Grandpa Hypno is fucking crazy, brother. Respectfully, I don't disagree. But I'm just saying, man, really, you got to call me out like that, bro? That's crazy. Hey, listen, Tanya Raven, before the last segment, dropped a 5 membership banger.
More memberships! More memberships!
Stop calling me Unk.
More memberships!
Shout out to Tanya Raven for the 5 memberships. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much. And then we got Dark Noir gifting 5 memberships on top of that, too. Look at this motherfucking badass.
More memberships! More memberships! More memberships!
Shout out to Dark Noir. Thank you for the 5 memberships. I appreciate that very, very much. Unk Hypnotic is crazy. That's crazy, man. Did he gift himself a membership? I don't know. Possibly. It happens a lot, actually. People do that a lot. I don't know how they do that. It's all random. It's all luck. Let's go over to Rumble really quick. I think we have 1 on Rumble. Let me just double check. Deadeye's Lock with a 5 for hashtag my love is greater than all the Jill sandwiches made by Barry's Sandwich Pub. Bella Gray is using potato kinesis. Bella Gray, bro. Wow. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate that. All right. Let us move on. Why are we yelling? We always yell. Theonotic. I'll take Theonotic. Theonotic is fine. Theonotic sounds cool. Theonotic sounds cool. I like that. Let's X out of this and shit. Do we have time for one more? Let's see. Guys, really quick, can I share something with you that, you know, I was going to report on it, but then I decided not to because it's going to piss me off. It's going to piss me off. You guys know how much I dislike the direction that Square Enix is going with Final Fantasy, right? It's the reason why I'm playing Dragon Quest so much. Which, by the way, I think I'm almost done with the 3rd island. I'm at the island where the humans are cursed and turning into animals, and vice versa. Like the animals are cursed turning into humans. Anyway, so I don't like the direction Square Enix is going with Final Fantasy. And a former Square Enix developer decided to open his mouth and hit me with one of the worst copes like that I think I've ever seen. Okay? And I got to share it with you. This is not going to be a topic. I'm just going to share it with you. Which Dragon Quest? 7 Reimagined. I'm playing 7 right now. Final Fantasy and Star Wars have the same problem with their viewership and stuff and their players, right? Their declining performance is basically what he's saying. According to a former Square Enix executive, the fans are just getting older. And young people aren't interested.
Hypno, I got a better name for her, God of Kitchen.
God of Kitchen is crazy. Thank you for the 2. The fans are getting older. That's it. That's why the fans are getting older. Now, he's not wrong about the second part. The second part about young people not being interested, he's absolutely correct. I'm not going to take that away from him. But the fans getting older is absolutely fucking cope. Because the older fans are the reason why any younger fans were even made in the first place. Most younger fans got into something because their parents showed it to them. Most younger fans, right? But fans getting older is not going to make them dislike the IP. It's not going to make them suddenly walk away from the IP. If anything, if you've been taking care of your customers for a long time, they are more likely to stay. So he's half right and half wrong, right? The truth is that you guys abandoned the older fans to chase the newer fans the newer fans said you're gay, and now you lost the older fans without gaining the newer fans, and now you're fucked. That's what really happened. But again, they're just going to be like, oh, well, you know, people got old. So they suddenly stopped wanting to play the game they've been playing for fucking 20 years. You know, they got old. Yeah, okay. Sure. Anyway, so that's basically that. I just saw that and I was like, wow, you know what? Fuck them. Okay. Let's go over Tomb Raider. I want to talk about Tomb Raider real quick. Let me pause the TTS. Let's talk about Tomb Raider. And then we're going to finish up. Guys. Let me play this one. Hold on. Kiata Coley with the 10 banger. Thank you, sir. Let me play that one. Come on.
I am the god of war. My wife is the dog of Raw.
The dog of Raw. Wow. Okay. That's definitely something. That's definitely something.
You know, whoever sold PlayStation the idea for the new GAO game is Laufeying their way to the bank if they got paid already.
You know, here's the thing I want people to realize. And it's good that you said that. Because there's a lot of people that'll talk online and they'll be like, well, you know, I'll laugh when the game flops. Yeah, maybe. But here's the thing about the game flopping. Is that you have certain studios over at PlayStation that are the golden childs. Meaning they are able to pretty much do whatever, and Sony's going to subsidize them. Right? Santa Monica Studios is one of those studios where they're going to constantly be subsidized by Sony. Naughty Dog is also the same way, constantly subsidized by Sony. So, not only that, these developers, do you think they care if the game lives or dies? Do you think they care if the franchise lives or dies if they're constantly subsidized? If they're constantly saved? No, because they get paid their salaries no matter what. They already got paid to make the game. They had guaranteed salaries for 4 to 5 years making this game. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. If the game survives or dies, nobody cares. The only people that care are the heads of the company that get bonuses based on its performance. They're the only ones that care. But they already get paid so much money on a yearly basis that bonus, whether it comes or it doesn't really mean much. They're already millionaires.
My first wife didn't get a game, so is this one.
My first wife didn't get a game, so is this one. Sith Lord Kratos, thank you for the 5, bro. I appreciate that. So yeah, they don't give a fuck. These people, they get paid to do the job no matter what. And at the end of the day, if the game flops, they don't care. They're only going to care when consequences come, and those consequences is when the studio gets shut down or if layoffs happen. When layoffs happen, that's when suddenly they're on, LinkedIn, they're on Twitter, they're on Blue Sky, and they're talking about how hard the games industry is and how times are tough and how they're hashtag ready to work and all this nonsense. That's the only time they care. Up until that point, they're laughing at every single one of you. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They'll claim it's all harassment. They'll claim all criticism is harassment, and they'll move on. That's basically it. All right. Hold on. I got to do... holy shit. They're spamming tier 2. They're spamming tier 2, boys. Jesus Christ, boys. What a wild stream today's been. Shout out to every single one of you. Thank you so much for the insane support. We hit tier 2 yet again. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been amazing. You've been amazing today. And it's been a lot of fun. I hope every single one of you are having a lot of fun as well. That's the whole point of these shows. Thank you guys. Let's talk about... Hold on. Let me pause the TTS before we get fucking wrecked again. Before we get wrecked again. Let's talk about Tomb Raider. So, Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. A video game that I've said looks pretty decent for the most part. I don't hate it. Out of the 2 Tomb Raiders that were showcased, this is definitely the one that I didn't hate. I disliked the other one, But this one I thought was okay. On top of that, too, I like the acrobatics. I'm glad that they brought that back. The acrobatics are now part of the gameplay. Again, pretty cool. Seems like they're trying to go back to, more of what made Lara Croft. But anyway, that's besides the point. We're talking about Tomb Raider today because this is gonna be big. I think this is gonna be huge, especially when it comes to virtue signaling. Here's the reason why. Okay. Most of the people that virtue signal online, not all of them, but a lot of them, are mostly female gamers that have to do with anti-AI. They always talk about how you got to be empathetic to artists. They're always talking about how, you can't replace human art with AI, whatever. Like, they're always online talking about some form of virtue signal and whatnot. And Tomb Raider as a series, a lot of women, they adhere to this game. Like, they want this game, right? So you have a group of people that are most known for being anti-AI online, and now their video game that they all love, or at least they say they love anyway, apparently is being made with AI. Now, here's why this is not shocking. Number one, Amazon's involved in this. If you guys don't remember, I ended up covering how Amazon invested so much money into AI in video games that they actually, according to, rumors and whatnot, they had plans. They had plans to make a fully AI-generated video game. They funded it. They did all this stuff. But when developers gave them a showcase and gave them a demo to decide whether or not they want to continue production, the game was terrible. They weren't meeting their deadlines, and apparently they fired the entire team. But they absolutely want to utilize AI in a pretty large margin. Now, me personally, I don't care about AI. I only care about whether or not the game is good. And if you could convince me and show me that the game is good, I don't give a fuck. That's me personally. But I know there's a lot of virtue signals with AI. So this is going to be a very interesting part because now apparently the game was made with AI according to the Steam page. But the key words here that I want to focus on is the final sentence. Any assets made using the controversial technology were either replaced or refined by humans. So when they first started being anti-AI, people would say, no AI whatsoever. No AI whatsoever. I don't even want a lick of AI. But it went from, we replaced everything by the time the final game came out. Because that's what most people would say. If you look at most companies' Steam pages, they will say they replaced everything before the game came out. Now they're sneaking in, we refined certain things before they came out, which means that they edited the AI art. They made little changes here and there. Again, that's what it supposedly means. Whether they did or didn't, that's up to you to decide. But they made changes here and there. They edited, here and there. But apparently, they're trying to sneak that in there now. So at this point, you could pretty much guarantee that there will be AI-made assets in the game because they're flat out telling you that there's going to be AI-made assets in the game. And even though I don't personally care, I'm just telling you that this video game, I would be very curious to see if it becomes a battleground for AI. Because there's so many other video games that have become battlegrounds for AI, but those video games are usually video games that are loved by the chuds, right? So it's usually weirdos that are trying to tear down the video game for any reason whatsoever, and they usually try to utilize AI to tear the video game down. Now, this is a video game that is not just for the chuds, because, we all know that the anti-chuds are all praising this game and wanted to play this game, but that's before they found out about the AI usage. So now that we know that there's going to be AI usage in the game, I'm just curious if those people are going to stand by their supposed morality that they have been pitching nonstop on social media, talking about it all the goddamn time, like, I will play nothing with AI. Nothing with AI whatsoever. If even a lick of AI touched my game, I'm out. Even though we already know that they're playing video games with AI in it. But that's besides the point. I just wonder if this game is going to become that ideological battleground for AI because we know how bad they want to play this game. So are they just going to be openly hypocritical about it, or are they going to start moving the goalposts? I already know they're going to start moving the goalposts. Just like they're going to start moving the goalposts when they find out that Grand Theft Auto 6 has some AI in it. I guarantee it. I would put money on it. But apparently Lara Croft fans are less than enthused. Let's see what the journalists try to say, because the journalists are usually, you guys know, they attack the shit out of Crimson Desert. They attack the shit out of Expedition 33. Let's see if they attack the shit out of Lara Croft, or are they going to suddenly handle it with kids' gloves? I don't know. Let's see. Apparently, fans then made the discovery through the Steam page for the release, where the mandatory disclaimer gives some insight into the extent of the tech's presence. On Valve's store, if you scroll down on the listing for Legacy of Atlantis, you can find the boilerplate warning AI-assisted tools were used during development to support some early exploration and temporary development content. Developers Crystal Dynamics and Flying Wild Hog say that any AI-assisted assets will either replace or refined by humans in order to maintain the creative and artistic vision of the development team. Oh, this is gonna be so good. This is gonna be so good. There's a little bit to unpack here. The thing that stands out is the inclusion of the term refined. I'm glad they caught on to it because that was never included before. In reference to whatever AI-generated materials were used in the making of the game. This points towards some AI assets still being present. They've just been cleaned up to the appropriate standard. A recurring part of the games being discovered to have AI content is that the assets in question still contain hallmarks of generative software, blurriness, malformed shapes, and general sloppiness. The idea may be to avoid such detection through refinement rather than changing the source of the work. It sounds like some versions of this tech were used in conceptualizing and early prototyping. Other studios have suggested utilizing generative AI in this form to help speed up the ideation part of game design. However, while this seems logical on the surface, it's still probably taking work away from the concept artists and other human facets of the pipeline. I just want to be very clear about this. For the journals that are talking about taking away work from concept artists, these are the same journalists that told us flat out that they're okay with AI speeding up animation. They're okay with AI damn near doing the animation on its own. So they're okay with animators losing their jobs. They're okay with animators having less work to do, thus basically making them redundant. They're okay with that. But they're not okay with it taking away from concept artists? Who made the concept artists more important than the animators? Or vice versa? See, this is the problem when you're talking about this fucking bullshit morality. Eventually it starts to slowly but surely be torn apart, because eventually you're going to have to come out with the truth. And the truth is, you actually really don't give a fuck. You're only trying to protect the jobs of the people that you want to protect. That's really what it's about. Regardless, players aren't enamored by the prospect. It's kind of a slippery slope in my opinion. They say they replaced it, but there is no way of knowing for sure. For all we know, they could have just polished the AI assets to make them look like less AI. That's exactly what they did, though. They're telling you that's exactly what they did. I assume it means concept art and temporary assets that artists then worked off of, which I am not really happy about or cool with, but I suppose it's better than just, oh, the goalposts are moving! I suppose it's okay. I suppose it's better than just painting the game with AI textures. I suppose it's okay. You know, any excuse to want to play this game, I suppose. There are conflicting ideals here because game development is increasingly time-consuming and expensive, especially for bigger games. Teams are always searching for ways to streamline things one way or another. That said, AI solutions are ethically dubious at the moment, and the pushback is omnipresent. Neither the developers nor publisher Amazon Game Studios have commented on the issue. We'll update you if and when they do. So basically, they handle this with kids' gloves. Notice how they didn't give Expedition 33 the benefit of the doubt. They didn't give this same kind of energy. They didn't give Crimson Desert the benefit of the doubt. They didn't give this kind of energy. But with Lara Croft Tomb Raider and Amazon, right, and Crystal Dynamics, both studios that are very well known to be in lockstep with the journalists, now all of a sudden the energy is completely different. Interesting how that works out, right? So I'm going to tell you like this. All right, this is Cope, wherever the fuck, you know, this is Cope right here. If you think that they're taking out all the AI, I got a bridge to sell you. The AI is absolutely going to be in the game. I'm not going to personally care as long as it looks good. But these people are going to sit there with fake smiling masks on their face while they're crying behind the mask because they have to say they like it. They can't say they don't like it. They can't say they don't like Lara Croft. They have to say it, right? They have no choice. So at this point, I can't wait to see how many AI assets they actually left in the game. I have a feeling it's quite a bit. And once it gets discovered, these people are either going to have a meltdown or they're going to gaslight and move the goalposts, and they're going to say, well, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. At least somebody got paid to refine it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes, but I just wanted to cover it because I thought it was pretty damn funny considering the situation around the game. So, all right, let me resume the TTS really quick, guys. Let's press play, see what we got going on here.
At Odin Dark Third celebrates 2 months of membership. God of HR is why I don't want a new Jack and Daxter. ND would ruin it to own the chuds.
That's true. That's true. They definitely would. Everything's about owning the chuds now.
My first wife didn't get a game, so why is this one?
Makes sense. I was like, wait, redo. Thank you, Sith Lord Kratos, with the 5. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. All right, guys, listen, we are caught up on everything. We're caught up on Rumble everywhere. We need to pick a winner to see who's going to go into this
December
next round.
11, 2025, I signed an EO for a policy for I framework. A week later, journos were melting down against I. Anti-I is just DDS rage.
That's true. Ron DFK, that's actually fucking hilariously true. I didn't even realize that. I totally forgot about that executive order. That's funny. Shout out to Ron DFK with the 5. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Guys, let's get into it. Are we ready? Are we ready? You got to put in your super chats the name of either character. You only got 2 minutes. And then we're going to see who's moving on to the next round to face off against Lara Croft,
Here,
ironically.
Kitty, PSPSPS.
Whoever wins is facing Lara Croft in the next round. Let's go. Monkey Man, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Right now, Jill is at $19 and Mai is at $80. That's not that far. That's not that far, boys. That is not that far. It's so weird to hear Zesty say, here, kitty, kitty. Am I the only one that thinks that? It's kind of weird. But I'll let you rock. It's not that far, boys. Who's winning? Mai is currently winning right now. She's at $80. And Jill is at $20. She's got a $60 lead right now. A $60 lead right now. Thank you guys, by the way, for helping us hit 50 out of 50 on the goal in the chat. That is fucking epic. I appreciate you. These aren't flattering picks. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You're voting for the character. This isn't the best picture battle. We're not voting for the best picture of 2026. Weak donations for the Tifa load. Well, I think people are saving their money for some of these upcoming battles. I think people are trying to save their money for some of these upcoming fights. Either that or the Mai fans feel like she's safe with a $60 lead. You know? We'll see. All right, boys. Final countdown. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Draconic with a 5 for Mai over on Rumble. Torno with a 5 for Panda. This fucking guy. Waiting for lag, waiting for lag, waiting for lag, waiting. Deadeye's Lock with a 5 for Mai. Waiting for lag, waiting for lag. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus. Jesus, man. R.I.P. Jill. That is another Resident Evil character that is dead. Another one, boys. Another Resident Evil character is dead. What a shame. Ada Wong got felted by Talizor. She's dead. Now Jill got fucking felted by Mai. Now she's dead. That's another one, boys. I gotta tell you, though. Lara Croft versus Mai? That's gonna be crazy.
Holy shit.
Lara Croft versus Mai is going to be crazy. That's going to be very interesting. All right, T-Jab says that Jill Valentine's at $19.26 versus Mai at $90 flat, which means the winner and moving on to face off against Lara Croft in the semifinals is going to be none other than the one and the only Mai. Ladies and gentlemen, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Zelda did lose. Yep. Zelda did lose. Let's do it one more time, boys. One more time. I don't think many people are coping and seething. Maybe Resident Evil fans. Maybe. Maybe.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that's going to be it, boys. Mai's going to move on to the next round to face off against Lara Croft. And on the next battle, which should be tomorrow, we're going to have Morrigan. Oh, shit. Morrigan from Darkstalkers versus Felicia from Darkstalkers.
Holy shit.
We got, oh, man. Oh, that's going to be, oh, shit. That's going to be crazy. Morrigan versus Felicia, both from the same franchise. That's going to be fucking nuts. And then after that, we got Bayonetta versus Tifa. Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit. And then after that, Samus versus 2B. Jesus. Oh, that's going to be crazy. That is going to be crazy. All right, we'll see how these go. Fucking A. All right, boys, listen, thank you guys so much for the insane support. I appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to everybody for all the donations and taking part in the conversation. Thank you for helping us hit our goals. Thank you for just hanging out, having a good time. Shout out to the Hypno Mods for doing what they do every single day. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Stay to the end for the raid, obviously. And remember, Hypnocast might be very early tomorrow, so make sure you're there at 5 p.m. Eastern. Most likely that's going to be the time. Stay till you're there. Pay attention to notifications. Don't miss it. And I'll see every single one of you in the next one. Until then, you guys already know, man. Go be bigots and go be gooners. Bye.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you gay.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Her dog, or her cat, was named Vagina. Vagina.
Put a ticket in, make her gay. Fuck Indiana Jones, put a ticket in, make her lady gay. Fuck Indiana, put a ticket in, make her gay. It means put a chicken in it we eat and make her fucking gay.
I bring light. 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 That's right!
Why the hell are you still here? Go on. Get out of here. Go play some video games.